What's good? What's good? What's good? Are we live? I don't know if we live. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is anybody out there? What's good? What's good? All kinds of stuff going on in the nation. New coaches, some same coaches, same faces. Excuse me. Things are really starting to pick up. In the coaching thing, we're keeping a lot of coaches around, which I really didn't see happening. We got the Senior Bowl coming up tomorrow. A lot of names to watch in the quarterback, defensive tackle. Man, there have been some edges. If you've seen any of the practices, these guys are flying around. Uh, the classes is a lot deeper. A lot offensive line. People said this was a weaker class, offensive line. I don't know. I see a lot of good tackles, some guards, a lot of guys that can play all over the entire field. I mean, whether it's center, whether it's the left side, the right side, we'll talk about them. We'll break them down. Shane Butler in the building. John Leone, what's good? Appreciate you for pulling up as always. Um, Man, what do y'all think about Patrick Graham being back in the building? They worked out a contract. I have not really mixed emotions. I just don't know why. I mean, I know why. You know, he went and looked for another head coaching job, but I think he got one interview for the Jacksonville Jaguars as head coach. The rest were linebacker interviews, and he didn't get a job. So to me, that kind of is a little skeptical. My guy Rick was good. Let me know what y'all think. I think it's very, very good that we finally have some camaraderie. I mean, I can't think of, and I should have probably looked it up before I started this live. But if anybody can look it up and let me know, or maybe I'll pull it up on my phone. But the last time we had a defensive coordinator for 4 years, I can't think. So if anybody knows in the chat, let me know. But it's been a while. I know that. So if at all, I don't even know if we've had the same defensive coordinator for 4 years that I can recall. Usually it's, 2, 3 years, same as the head coaching. And so it's good to have Patrick Graham back. There's a lot of people complaining about his defense. He's never had really a great season as the defensive coordinator, whether it be the Giants or wherever he was, Miami, I think. So he's never had, those great standout years. And his best years have been with the Raiders. We were ranked 15th in points allowed in the last 2 years. And the rest of the stats were not very good, but you can't blame all of that on Patrick Graham. The fact that our defensive line was banged up. We had a quarterback that turned the ball over way too many times, way too many times a game. Running backs turning the ball over. Other than that, I don't think did we have any receivers fumble this year? Anybody can look that up. Let me know too. Also, I need to get more mods. But yeah, that's a stat I should probably looked up also because I don't believe that I can recall any of the receivers fumbling. But I know the running backs had some fumbles. We won't name names, but we know the quarterback situation was bad when it came to hanging onto the ball, right? Turning the ball over in crucial situations on our side of the field just absolutely murdered us all year long. So I thought other than that, I think our points, our points allowed per game probably would not have been near as high. Definitely our our running yards per game, running touchdowns per game probably wouldn't have been as high if we didn't give them the short side of the field so much. So I want to see what Patrick Graham can do, at least for 1 year. I don't know what the contract is. I haven't looked that up, got that far yet, but I want to see what he can do. And I want, definitely wanted Robbie Leonard. We'll get to that in a minute, but the fact that there is some kind of, stability, continuity, 4 years, a lot of these guys, well, if we bring a lot of the free agents back, we'll get to free agents. Let me know if y'all have any specific free agents. Type it in the chat that you think we should re-sign. That is a necessity that needs to be on this team. That is a key piece to the puzzle because We have a lot of puzzle pieces still missing, but we did see this year that we have a lot more depth than we thought. A lot of guys have, got a lot more grass time than they were expected to. So that's a big, big plus. If we can bring those guys in and keep them around. And like I said, a lot of them going into their fourth year. So it's not too many teams in the NFL, our players in the NFL that get to stay with the same defensive coordinator in the same system for 4 years. I think that's a very, very big thing, especially if we can keep, guys like Moreg, um, Nate Hobbs. I'm kind of iffy on. It depends on the price. Malcolm Kuntz, I think, is a necessity for me. I think we have to bring back. I hear rumors that there's a couple teams interested, and if there's a couple teams interested, that means the price is going to be higher, right? So that could be a huge, huge loss. I think Caleb Von Chasen showed why he was a former first round pick in the NFL. I think he played his ass off, and he deserves at least some kind of contract. I don't know what it's going to look like, but definitely deserves one. Jonah Lalu, I thought again played well. I think he's still under contract. I have to look that up again. I was supposed to do that before I came on this live. Uh, so Patrick Graham coming back is huge. If we can just get some guys on this defensive line, and if he'll play the right the right guys. I don't know. I think to me, I see where he falls in love with guys. To me, he Bidla, what's good, my guy. I think Patrick Graham falls in love with a lot of guys, and they get probably more playtime because of that. And some of them probably don't deserve, to be on the grass, especially in key, situations, especially like rundowns. We have a bunch of defensive linemen that, I won't name names, but really weren't putting in their, doing their 111. We'll just say that. And same at linebacker, we have the same problem. Same at corner. We have a bunch of guys not doing their 111. And I think favoritism is a big thing that I've seen. I think a lot of guys that, from what I've seen when they got in the game, I don't know, because we're not there in practice like the coaches are, but I thought a lot of guys showed that they deserved, at least more time to show what they can do on the grass. But when you're out there for one or two plays, a half or a quarter, you can't, you can't get no rhythm. So I think it's good, but I think it's also, hopefully that defense could get back to where it started to go when AP took over. And I think with Pete Carroll in the building and the guys he's bringing, the guys he's bringing in, he brought in the linebacker. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I did have it on the computer, but he was the linebacker with Seattle. I think 8 of the 10 years he was there. So man's been around. Why they let him go from linebacker to assistant linebacker, and then whatever position he was formerly at when they took over, we will never know. But hopefully, he can get these guys to tackle. That's a huge thing. I think one of our biggest problems at linebacker was tackling. Like, definitely was tackling. Um, so yeah, I like the fact that we have continuity. It's the same system. Hopefully, he changes it up a little bit more. I'm kind of tired of seeing that cover three all the time, and I don't think the guys we have really fit his cover three system. I'd like to see a lot more man and see what these guys can do. Put them on the island. He always says he don't want to put guys on the island, but you put Jack Jones on the island, who continuously gets cooked out there, from what I see on tape and in games. And then you got young guys that seem to do pretty good in those situations, and then you're playing them in cover three or zone, and I don't know. So I would like to see the defense switch it up a little bit. I love the fact that Robbie Leonard's back in the building. I think that's a huge, huge factor into bringing Maxx Crosby back. Um, the development of Tyree Wilson, I think, is key for Robbie Leonard being in the building. And I think, Kayla Von Chasen showed that Robbie Leonard, what he brings to the team and his skills when it comes down to coaching defensive linemen, right? I think even Jonah Lalu, a lot of these guys, Adam Butler's had, his two best years on this defensive line. Um, so let me get into this chat real quick. Read some comments before I get way too far behind. My family tells me that's messed up. Why would your family say that, bro? Salute my guy Rick in the building. Uh, you unfollowed it. Hey, that's cool, man. Do your thing. Do your thing, bro. Rebel, can you pick my brain? Nah, bro. I don't talk to Eagles fans. No, I'm just playing. I'm just messing with you, kid. Uh, what? You'd be stoked if Robert was let go? DJ Reed, Miles Garrett, man, getting crazy. Miss Baylor says, sign Coots. Tony Chef in the building. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Um, like I'm number one, more likes, Rebel chat. For sure, for sure. Appreciate you, my guy. Damn, where's everybody at tonight? Oh yeah, it's Friday. Um, Rebel, is it okay that like the Eagles here you met? Nah, bro, come on, you know better than that shit. I just mess with you, my guy. I don't care what team you root for. As long as you ain't talking shit on the Raiders or starting shit in the chat, I don't care. You know that, Shane. Come on, man. So, yeah, that's what I think about that. I think Robbie Leonard brings a lot to this defense. We've talked about guys possibly, taking over, kind of being, the successor, as you would say, or the apprentice, however you want to put it, to take over when Pete Carroll does decide to leave. If he does make it the 3 years or the 4 years, takes the other year. So is Patrick Graham in line for that? Maybe they talked about that. Maybe that was part of the negotiations. I really don't like the fact that I'm not going to name names, but certain reporters say they have information on why Patrick Graham didn't want to be a Raider. And to me, I mean, if you have that information, why hold that shit until he's not a Raider? Because by then nobody's going to give a shit. So I don't even know why you would bring that up or say that shit, especially when you're, a respectful reporter for the Raiders. But if you know that Patrick Graham doesn't want to be here and he only came back for, a certain reason, or a reason why he didn't re-sign his contract, I mean, damn. As a Raider reporter, don't you owe it to the nation to like kind of be like, man, this is what happened. This is why he didn't sign the contract. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't like the fact that he went, tried to get the Bengals DC job, didn't get that. They decided to go with Notre Dame college defensive coordinator. Where are my notes? Jesus. Nope. Those are Senior Bowl notes. Damn it. Anyways, I don't know why I don't have anybody's name. I am not prepared on this Friday night, but I just popped on because I was bored to death and didn't have shit to do. So, um, but yeah, I don't understand the fact that okay, you could have got a head coaching job. You interviewed last year. There was a lot of talk, but you still didn't get one last year. You only got one or two interviews this year, and no return calls, no callbacks. And then you come back to the Raiders. Like to me, I just don't. I don't understand that shit. If you wanted to be here, you should have just signed the contract and said, "I want to be a Raider." Like, and people could say, it was because certain GMs or because it was certain head coaches. I don't know what the problem was. I know 1 minute in a press conference he's saying, he loves his team, he don't want to go anywhere else, and then at the end of the season we find out that he's had a contract extension sitting on his desk, waiting for him to reply to or whatever the story is for a while. Who knows how long, but the fact of the matter is he didn't sign it, right? And he went and looked for other jobs and then he came back and wanted to renegotiate. So I don't know. That kind of just rubs me the wrong way. Pause if necessary. Um, I wonder what the deal is because they let AP go. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what it was, but I just find it weird. Like, just makes no sense. And then you're back, which I'm cool with that. I don't like the fact that we have one of the worst run defenses pretty much every year that he's been here. That I mean, hopefully with the guys you know that they bring in, which doesn't seem to be a lot. They seem to be keeping a lot of guys in house. They re-signed the special teams guy. I don't know who else they're bringing. Hopefully they re-sign the tight end. I keep talking about Luke Steckel. I think Luke Steckel is a big part of this offense and why, the tight ends were doing their job out there holding it down. A big part of why Brock Bowers, had the year he had. So hopefully they make the right decisions, keep the right guys in house. But I don't know. Still skeptical. I think there was better defensive coordinators out there at the time that maybe they should have brought in and looked at. But hey, maybe I don't. Maybe Pete Carroll wanted the guy from the get, and that was the whole way to go. Like no, if we lose Kellen Moore, offense Jalen Hurts is learning. Well, I mean Jalen Hurts. I don't even think he's had as many offensive coordinators or head coaches as Aiden O'Connell, so he should be able to pick them up, right? ALC seems to have no problem with it. Nah, I don't know. Bowers 89 in the building, right? Bowers was a beast, and I think Luke Steckel was a huge, huge part of that. My guy says trade for Cooper Cup. I would trade for Cooper Cup, but I got some draft guys I want to talk about, and I think one of these receivers might be kind of, I'm not going to comp him to him, but man, he has a lot of that to him. So, where was I at? We got the money. We don't have the money. We'll talk about that too. Maybe you haven't been watching my lives, but we don't have that much money. Let Mark Davis spend. If he's not cheap, if he's not a cheapskate owner, he might be living off his dad retribution. He don't even own the team. His mom owns the team. He's just running it. And then we are losing franchise. We are losing franchise because of it. I don't think we're losing franchise. I guess Mark is the owner. He makes the decisions on the head coaches, and some of them are wrong. We swung for the fences. We struck out a lot of times, but the man's trying, right? He's putting the right pieces in place, and as you say, we have all this money. I've talked about this before. If we keep just 8 pieces on the defense, just 8 guys out of the 27 free agents, that's roughly projected $70 million. 70. That's for one season to keep 8 guys out of 27. That leaves us 19 holes to fill on offense and defense with 30 million plus pay Maxx Crosby his new extension that he wants, which I don't see why he deserves an extension. He just got a 4-year deal in 2020 worth a ridiculous amount, $25 million a year. Like, if he was and his agent didn't put guaranteed money in that contract, that shouldn't be the Raiders' fault. That's the way I see that. You know, I just don't know. So they're going to take probably the 25 that he's got come in and the 29 he's got, or the 29 he's got coming, and then the 25, however it works out. But I think he still got, whatever. He got 54 guaranteed out of his $95 million contract or something. So, you know, I don't I don't see how you can say you want to win Super Bowls, but you want to restructure your contract because we have, supposedly all this money to restructure all these guys. We have a lot of guys we have to keep, a lot of guys we have to sign. There's still rookie contracts that once we sign these rookies, we have to pay these guys out of that salary cap. Yes, it's going to go up, for the next year, and I see whatever projected 120 million. But even say we have 120 million, if we give Maxx Crosby 30 million a season with 30 million guaranteed, that's 30 million off the cap this year. That makes it 100 by keeping not only 8 guys on the defense, we'd keep 9 with Maxx Crosby, which I don't know why we keep Maxx Crosby. He's under contract. Makes no damn sense. Anyways, so that puts us what at 100 million. Say they add another 20 million to the cap this year, or we get rid of Gardner Minshew. Say we do something with Colton Miller. Say we do something with Andre James, this ridiculous contract he should have never got. Thanks, Tom Telesco. We let some of these guys walk, like Madison, like Amir Abdullah. We're gonna have a little bit more money, but what 20 mil to bring in 2 guards at least, running backs, a quarterback, a franchise quarterback, another corner, a shutdown corner, because I don't believe Jack Jones is going to be here. We don't have all this money to go spend. We don't have money to trade for Metcalf. We'll be lucky if we can get the quarterback we need in this draft. We'll be lucky if we could get a subpar, bridge quarterback if we don't end up going with Aiden O'Connell, which that really looks like a possibility if you look at the money we have and how we can spend it this year. We still have people saying, Robert Spillane, you got to sign. Like I said, 8 of those guys. Then you have Jacoby Myers' contract that's coming up very, very soon. Do you pay that guy to keep him in the building because he was signed to a very, very low contract under Josh McDaniels, and I don't think we changed it. So, Jacoby Myers is one of our best players on offense. Do you keep him happy, restructure his contract, re-sign him to a longer deal? There's a lot of questions with not a lot of money to spend. Max has too much power on the team. Tom needs to handle that. I don't think Tom is handling. I think they want to keep Max, and they think, Purpo, my guy, shout out. They think Max, like a lot of you, and I mean, Meat is a good, a big part of this defense. However, I believe and feel and seen that this defense has shown we can win games without Maxx Crosby. So do you restructure a Maxx Crosby contract and pay him $30 million a year for 3 or 4 more years when he's already 26? He's been injured twice this year. At 26, he plays every single down. Do you really risk signing this guy for 30 million guaranteed for another $90 million for 3 more years? That's wild to me when we only won 1 game with him on the grass this year, and we lost with him on the grass. We won all 3 games. We won 1 game with him on the grass. So to me, that's rough to sit there and be like, we're going to contend this year. That's not a rebuild. We're re-signing all these pieces. I just don't see if they see what I see, or maybe I'm just imagining shit and I can't do math, but never seemed to be a problem. I can do math very, very quick, more than most. So if you add this shit up and, maybe they don't keep those guys, maybe they're planning on only keeping, 4 defensive guys out of those 8 and they let the other 4 walk. That gives us a little bit more money to play with. But having Maxx Crosby, who wants to restructure a contract that in 2000 he just got paid $95 million for 4 years. Now, like I said, the fact that give me a second. Hello. All right, so I don't even know where I was in the chat. Kellen Moore, I think I was past all that. Okay, Furbo in the building. Shane, this one keeps talking. Patrick Graham has a system. It's plug and play at this point. He does have a system, but it's run a 4-3 once in a while. He goes to a 5-2, which is not bad. I mean, not a 4-3, but he runs the 4-2-5 way too much in my opinion. And I think we need another defensive lineman out there most of the time, or at least another linebacker. I'd like to see, five defensive front. You can't get pressure. I mean, you can when you have a Maxx Crosby, a Malcolm Kuntz, a Christian Wilkins, and whoever you want to put next to him, Joe Nolalu, you know, Tyree Wilson. You can put whoever, Adam Butler. The list go on and on at the defensive line. But if you put five of those guys, the names I just named, four could get pressure, but five is unstoppable because you have most of the time you're going to have five offensive linemen, right? You're going to have your center, two guards, and two tackles. Unless you go to a jumbo package, you might have another tackle out there. You might go to 12 personnel and have two tight ends. You might go to 13 personnel and have three tight ends. So there's those scenarios. But I'm talking normal. Most of the time, you're going to have five offensive linemen. With most of the time, we rush four. But if you had 5-on-5, that gives us a chance, to have linebackers in, to have corners blitzing like Kansas City does, like Philly does, to have those guys coming off the edge. Also, with the two defensive ends, with the linebacker in the middle. And then you got to worry about a safety like Trayvon Morig, who plays way better in the box. Like, that's his natural position. So to me, I'm going to jump in here, but to me, this is why I think Nate Hobbs needs to either maybe be like a hybrid linebacker, kind of like they did, with Divine Diablo, and not cover the slot and put Trayvon Morig in the slot, because Trayvon Morig's natural position is the slot. He's damn good in coverage. He's super good when he has to blitz or, spy, any of that shit. If he's covering running backs out of the backfield, Trayvon Morig to me is way better than Nate Hobbs. Now, Nate Hobbs is more aggressive. He tackles, way better. He's a lot more physical. But when it comes to coverage, when it comes to playing smart, I think Trayvon Moore has that edge. And in college, like I said, that's his natural position. That's where he played him, and that's why he shined at, where was it, TCU? Um, so what's good, my guy Raider Ryan in the building? Appreciate you pulling up. Um, fuck, I don't know where I was in this chat. Crosby has too much power. Patrick Graham, SoCal, what's good? What's good? I would trade Cosby for some cheaper draft picks and free agents. I mean, I don't know. Tatted Raider, what's good? Appreciate you pulling up. Trading for some first round picks. See, I'm not at that point. I just want Max to, to stop. I don't know. The man needs his money, right? He wants his money. He works for it. But I don't understand why you keep, referring to these contract negotiations. There shouldn't be a contract negotiation. You have 2 more years, bro. You're on a 4-year deal. You only played 2 years of those. How in 2 years do you want to negotiate your contract on a year that you didn't even play half the season? You had 6.5 sacks and you want to negotiate a contract because you have no guaranteed money? Bro, that's your agent's fault. That's not the Raiders' fault or anybody else's fault. And I don't think the Raiders should be put in this spot by Maxx Crosby to have to kind of, deal with his contract to keep him happy, plus sign all the guys that are, on their contract year, that are free agents, that are unrestricted free agents, that are, um, whatever, restricted rights free agents. So, these guys are played their contract year. We're out most of the time on the grass, working their asses off, playing for that year, and his deal's not up. He still has 2 more years. but you're talking about Super Bowls and wanting to win. So that's why I don't know. It scares the shit out of me to for him to say he wants to be here, he wants to win, but you want more money, but you want to win Super Bowls. To me, that shit just don't mix. It doesn't all go together. And a perfect example of that is Tom Brady. Was Tom Brady ever? Hold on. Was Tom? Hey Siri, was Tom Brady ever the highest paid quarterback for a season in the NFL? Why ain't you asking? Hey Siri. Um. Okay, I guess my phone broke. But I believe Tom Brady was one of those guys that took lesser money, that didn't want to, you know, to have guys around him. And I think that's how you have to. That's how you have to do it. You have to have guys in the building that want to do that. If you're talking about Super Bowls, to me, it just seems selfish. Now, like I said, I get it. You have no guaranteed money on your contract, but that what did you not think you were going to be with the Raiders that long? Did you think you were going to get traded before that and have a new contract? I don't understand why you would sign a contract where you got $50 million guaranteed. So you got your money up front. You got 50 of 95 million up front. And now you have 2 years with no guaranteed, which you're still getting another, 40 something mil, whatever, 50 mil, for almost 50 mil. Like that's wild to me. That's wild because it's not guaranteed, that is negotiation times. And I think that's gonna hurt who we could sign at free agents in free agency. That's gonna hurt who we can bring back on this team that were probably key pieces to this puzzle that we need around. And Maxx Crosby is one of the guys that said it himself on his podcast. He's tired of seeing change, right? He's tired of seeing the defensive line come together where they feel like they have something, where they have a bond, where they know each other, where they know how each other play, they know their tendencies, they know where, each other's going to have each other's back. They know where that guy's going to do his 111, and you don't have to worry about that guy. You only got to worry about yourself and not worry about the guy next to you, whether it's on the left or the right. And he complained about, you know, every year it's a turnaround. It's a turnaround. Well, this is why it's a turnaround, right? To me, I mean, I don't know. Am I wrong? Let me know in the chat. But to me, this is why it's a turnaround, and it's not just with the Raiders; it's with every team. Look at the Browns. I mean, look at the Browns, dude. They brought in Deshaun Watson for $240 million when he didn't even play for almost 2 seasons or a season. What was it? A whole year? 2 years? 2 years he didn't play in the NFL, I believe. That he was suspended, and the guy has been hurt every year. He hasn't done nothing. Sometimes, I'm not saying, of course, Deshaun Watson is Maxx Crosby, or I'm just comparing that teams make bad decisions on paying guys, and it's not always the right choice. So if you're constantly paying one guy way too much money, you can't afford to pay, you know, mediocre guys. You have to get bottom tier guys in the draft, or you have to build guys through the draft, or get guys in free agency, kind of like we did this year. We were constantly, pulling up guys that were on practice squads, and some of them worked out very well. Jonah Lalu, uh, Kaylavon Chasen, um, Harper, you know, I think Kelly Blue, the last couple games, got a little burn. Turned out, wasn't great, but like I said, it's only his first couple games. So I think we got a lot of those guys that turned out pretty damn good. But how often do you get guys, off somebody's practice squad that turn out to be key parts, key puzzle pieces to your puzzle? Not very often. So I'm gonna get way behind in this shit. Brady always took pay cuts. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. D Menace in the building. Appreciate you, my guy. Brady was never the highest paid quarterback ever. See, that's my point. Um, Rebel, it doesn't show on the iPhone that you have memberships. It only shows Android laptop. Oh, shout out to everybody. Um, Let me see. So we did get monetized, and we do, or are we supposed to, have memberships. If you'd like to become a member to the Raider Nation family, um, give me a second. YouTube Studio, content, live. It's not showing my live on here. I don't know. Give me a minute. I'll look. But yeah. So I don't know if y'all don't have an iPhone. If you're on the computer, let me know if it has the little urn symbol thingy, McJigger. Anyways, it should have super chats. Not that you have to super chat. I'm just saying it should have that little thingy on there, and then you can also, you know, click on the channel and become a member, which we will be doing some member stuff, some live, some draft stuff. Like I said, most of it will be up to whoever becomes members to the channel and what they want to do. We'll get together, we'll somehow exchange emails, phone numbers, whatever it is y'all want to do. That way, maybe just have a Discord where we can all bullshit. Also, I'll probably set that up probably here in the next day or two when I get a chance. Like I said, it's only been monetized for a couple days. So again, shout out to every one of y'all that make it happen because I couldn't have done it without y'all subscribing to the channel. My guy Raider Ryan says, "Facts, Rebel. Tom took the contract restrictions a couple of times. Yep. To surround himself with more talent, the rings is his goal." And that's Maxx Crosby's goal, right? That's what he says. What did he say in his last 3 pods? His main thing is rehab and contract negotiations. And he keeps saying how it's going to be fun. Like, this is something that's going to be great for him. Like, I don't know what's fun about negotiating a contract that you're already under. So to me, that makes no sense. So with Tom Brady in the building, you think maybe Tom Brady would pull him aside and say, "Hey, look, we want you in the building. Let's just change this and make it easy. We owe you 25 for this year. Let's just make it guaranteed. We owe you whatever 24 whatever it is for next year. Let's make that guaranteed and let's squash this. That way our books don't change, right? Our money doesn't change. We're not adding any more to the salary cap, right? We're not taking any away from it because those numbers are already on the cap. They're already on the cap for those years. So if you just make it guaranteed, it shouldn't change anything, which would be the right thing to do, in my opinion. If that's your goal, is to win now and to win championships. Now, if your goal is to win championships and it's not with the Raiders, then just say that. Just say, "I don't think I can wait around that long," or "You're not going to be able to pay me the money I want." Whatever it is. Um, we are giving Max cushions because he is drug-free role model. He is getting more than that. I understand that, and he's a great role model. I mean, for him to go through what he did, partying in college. Look, I partied in college. I partied way after college. Like, I partied anyway. So yeah, for him to go through all that shit, for people to pick him up, take him to San Francisco, for him to get right. That's all good. That's great, and he's a damn good role model. He does excellent in the community. He's a hell of a football player. But again, it's a team sport. It's a team sport. And for a franchise to win, you can't pay a guy like a Deshaun Watson $240 million that you don't know is going to work out. Or you can't be the Broncos and trade for a Russell Wilson and pay him $240 million, and make it the biggest trade in NFL history to the next year, eat his contract, and let him go play somewhere else that he takes him to the playoffs. So you can't make stupid decisions like that as franchise. That shit hurts. So and then you got the same thing is you got his guys, his boys that are on the defensive line, like a Adam Butler, who's been saying for all year last year, I want to be a third down player. I want to be on the grass every single down. He wants that bag too. He wants that money. He's also a free agent. He's got another contract coming up. And he said last year, and he said many times in the press conferences, throughout the year before the season started and even after the season started, I want to be that guy. He feels like he deserves it. He feels like he does, he can be on the grass all three downs. And I believe it too. I think he should have been out there more than Jenkins. He should have been out there next to Wilkins, in my opinion, all three downs until he was tired. And maybe they needed to sub a guy out once in a while. But that man, I think, should stay on the grass. And he's going to want a bag too, or he's going to go somewhere else. And Adam Butler is another key part of this team. And it just doesn't look good for the team when you see a guy that's getting way more money than you. You got guys, like I said, Nate Hobbs is making what I say he was making, not even $1 million or some shit. Fuck, I don't know. I said on one of my lives, but what Nate Hobbs is making is absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe that's what he was making for a season, and people are bitching about him missing, not being healthy for the whole year. But when you got a guy like a Trayvon Moreg who played 97% of the snaps last year, that's Maxx Crosby numbers. No safeties don't make edge numbers. Well, come on. What Moreg's making, he's gonna want a bag too, and that bag's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger when you see guys like Maxx Crosby saying, "Damn, I got to restructure my contract when I just got a new contract 2 years ago, a 4-year contract 2 years ago, and I'm only 2 years in, and I want more." But I'm talking about winning Super Bowls, and head coaches not staying and not making the playoffs every year. That shit's wild to me. All right, Shane Butler, be good, my guy. Lawrence, what's in the building? Unleashing Addiction, appreciate you pulling up for sure. Oh, D Menace in the building. What? That's my first super chat ever. Sweet, my guy. Appreciate the $5 donation. Hell yeah. Is there a way I could frame that or save that? It's like frame that shit. Here, wait. I could do this though. B-Man, it's my guy always in the building. Wait, take it up there. Bam. Sweet. My brother. You'll be remembered forever as the first one. Oh, I'm not gonna say what I said. That would not sound right. Good thing I said the first one, right? Um, Rebel, pay attention to the members and people gifting. I just seen it, man. I'm getting there, and it doesn't show when people become members. Is it Unleashing Addiction? I don't know. The Menace. All right, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I think the Menace became a member. No, it should be a different color. Your name should change colors. You're confusing me. Unleashing Addiction. All right, so back to the chat. Back to what I was saying. But hey, I appreciate you guys are the shit. Oh, Tatted Radio. That's who's confusing me. So focused. I know. All right, let me catch this back up so I can get to the bottom so I can stay up. Good, you are good. I'm good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Unleashing addiction. Start this. No, go back. Turns green with a member. It doesn't show on mine, so I need to get a chat bot or I need to figure out something. I will figure it out. But if you do sub and become a member, I appreciate you. Run up them likes if you're new to the channel. I'm your host, Raiders Welcome to Raiders Unleashed. I'm your host, Raiders Rebel. I don't even know who the hell I am. But yeah, it doesn't change on mine. And it's not coming up on the damn phone. So we will have to fix that because that's not gonna fly for me, right? If I can't shout out the people that are becoming members to the channel, bro, that's not cool at all. Um, hide a comment. I ain't trying to hide shit. Um, Unleashing Addiction is your member. Shout out to Unleashing Addiction. Appreciate it. But yeah, the name didn't change. Oh, okay, it has a little green thing at the end of it. How am I gonna see that? Right on. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. First member and the first super chat. For sure. Um, I am a member, rebel, and a star. It's crazy. So let me know in the chat, thumbs up or thumbs down. Is Unleashing Addiction's name green on your screen? Because I see a little green circle next to it, but it should have a badge. So, my bad. I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm new to this. All right, so let's get away from that. What else were we talking about? What was I talking about before I got distracted? All right, some guys I want to talk about that I thought, in the Senior Bowl um, practice, and not all of them were the Senior Bowl. I think some of them were the Shrine Bowl, and I don't have wrote down which is one, which is which. So, um, the running back R.J. Harvey, man, that kid, one of them ones to watch out for. The kid could block. He's fast. He's big. He's physical. The man can catch. Um, you know, a sneaky name. Not really sneaky because he did a lot of shit. Um, there was a tackle, Anthony Belton. Y'all go check it out. Watch some tape on him. And thought the guy was pretty athletic. Held his own against some of these defensive tackles or defensive ends. Not a guy high on everybody's board. A safety, Billy Bowman, kind of one of those, fast, physical, hard hitting guys. Um, Back Quincy Riley. What the hell's cool? I don't know why I don't have that shit wrote down. Do not have that wrote down. Of course, another kid that I talked about, Trevor Iantine. We all know where his brother, in Jacksonville. They can catch, they can run, kind of small body guys that are fast, physical. I think he, in Georgia, kind of not the right school if you're trying to be, that number one back to shine because they have so many running backs that go to Georgia and you're probably playing 3 or 4 guys at a time. So you're not going to get the carries. But man, watch out for this kid. Definitely watch out. Deion Walker, man, that dude out of Kentucky, 6'7", 345 pounds, is a freak of nature. Like, I don't even know why he's not an offensive lineman because with his footwork and his hand strength and ability, whatever coaches never decided to try to put that guy on the offensive line should be smacked upside their head, man. This kid is or not kid, he's a grown man. He got grown man strength. Like dude is nasty, bro. Out of Kentucky. what is it, Dewan Walker? I call him D1 because I don't know that man is a freak, bro. Just a freak. And as a defensive tackle, I would hate to be a center going up against that guy. They say low pad level wins in the NFL. You got to have that low pad level to get up, get underneath guys. And a lot of teams like those, shorter 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2" kind of defensive tackles that are, 320, 300, or, you know, 20 plus pounds that are pretty quick, agile, and fast. Those are usually the defensive linemen that win in the NFL because, guards are getting bigger. These guards, they want, which I don't know why, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", which to me is way too big for a guard, especially when you have nose tackles that are 320 and, 6 foot that are coming off the ball and just getting, exploding underneath these guys, getting under their pad levels, or knocking them down before they can even get up because they're so big. They're hitting their shoulders because they have more power at that lower level. So some of those guys are nasty, but at 6'7", 345, that guy is just going to be a problem no matter what team he goes to. And a guy like that, I mean, how could you not want him, especially at nose guard? I mean, if you can put that man at nose guard, that's scary, right? You're not passing over the middle, especially if you're a 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", uh, quarterback in the NFL that's not in the gun. Come on, you're having to take 9-step drops just to try to throw over this guy. 6'7", like that's crazy. I don't know what his wingspan is, but I think it was, I don't even know what they said, like somewhere close to 7 feet or something. Just ridiculous numbers. So to have that man at the middle would be absolutely crazy. Man, I've talked about before, again, Walter Nolan, Ole Miss defensive tackle. That man is a problem in every single game he's been in. He just murdered my Arkansas Razorbacks. I hate to admit it, but between him on the defensive line, just constantly in the backfield, and some of y'all might know, some of y'all might not know, but the Razorbacks have a damn good quarterback, and Taylor Green, 6'6", runs a 4.44 40. The man is lightning fast, athletic as hell. And dude, Walter Nolan from Ole Miss was in his face every damn play. Like the man couldn't get away. I don't know how many tackles he had on him, quarterback hits and rushes, but for as fast as Taylor Green is, go back and if you want a damn good game to watch, if you're a Jackson Dart fan, and you're thinking about the Raiders should not draft a Jackson Dart, go back and watch the Arkansas Razorback game. Jackson Dart put up 5 or 6 touchdowns with almost 600 yards of offense by himself, and Walter Nolan was was a problem, just crazy problem, just everywhere. So doing the same thing, in the Senior Bowl practices from day one, and a guy that name's been called every time he's had reps. So definitely a first round pick. And if a Mason Graham is not there, and I was saying, I would take a Will Johnson at corner. But some of the practices I've been watching and some of the tape I've been seeing on some of these corners, I don't think I would really take a Will Johnson at this point. I think I would wait. Like I don't. So man. The guys I would take at 6, I'm kind of running out of picks that are really worth taking at 6. So to me, it's kind of looking at move back, move back, move back. And the last 5 mock drafts I've done, I've got nothing but crazy offers to move back. And the latest one I had was the Houston Texans offered me for the what they offer me? Oh yeah, so they offered me their 25th, their 58th, 72, a second round next year, and a third round next year. I mean, come on. For the sixth round pick, you think I didn't say no? Oh, I took that shit all day. So I took that mock draft, and at 25, I took Jackson Dart. I said, the hell with it. That's what I'm doing. And, some people are going to call me crazy, but I said in the beginning, you know, Jackson Dart was going to be one of those dudes. Dumbass. No, Jackson Dart was going to be one of those dudes this year just because of his mobility. He's not the fastest dude, but he has just, that kind of Will Levis, you know, Anthony Richardson kind of build, not as chiseled, but, kind of muscular. Dude can throw, has a deep ass arm. Um, Not afraid to take shots, right? Has no conscience when it comes to trying to fit the ball in the windows that shouldn't be in there. So yeah, watch out for those dudes. Shamar Stewart, A&M, another defensive tackle that was, just making, just causing ruckus, was a huge problem. Omar Lutt. Omar Lutt is a just another one of those guys. I don't know what rounds, you know, but man, if you can get some of these guys in the later rounds, it's just steal all day, right? Um, God, I can't believe I'm even saying this. Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, I know. I talked all kinds of shit about Dylan Gabriel's height, his arm strength, even his speed, leadership, maybe. I don't know. He had his team undefeated. I don't know why I put that down. He clocked in at 79 mile an hour ball speed from whatever the zebra technology shit is they have now, where they're clocking all these dudes. That's crazy. Josh Allen's was like a 68, and for that to be that much higher. But then there's other guys that are on the field that are saying they were on the field when Josh Allen was throwing, you know, in his Senior Bowl or Shrine Bowl, whatever he was in. Um, and it's not the same, right? They're saying Josh Allen is way faster, he throws way harder. So maybe the technology's off, maybe it's not 100% accurate. But there's other people that say, man, you can hear the ball zipping by when Dylan Gabriel throws the ball. For his height at 6 foot or 5'11, 5'10. Now 5'10 now they're saying 5'11, 6 foot, somewhere in there. Not the biggest guy, right? But he's 200 pounds. So he has a decent build, for that height. Um, he has 9-inch hands, which, they measure your hand from thumb to pinky. So 9 inches is pretty damn big. You know, of course, as a quarterback, you want the biggest hands as possible in wet weather, snow, shit like that. You definitely want to have the biggest hands, the best grip on the ball. But nine's not bad, right? Jalen Milroe, I think they measured at 8 and 5/8. So 8 and 5/8, 8 3/4, somewhere in there. So Jalen Milroe, a quarter inch, but I don't know. Ask your girl if a quarter inch matters. I don't know. Might not. But when it comes to holding the football, that quarter inch could be uh a fumble, a fumble, or being able to tuck the ball. So it does matter. But anyways, Dylan Gabriel, I thought showed that he's pretty accurate. He's pretty accurate. He reminds me a lot of Tua with a stronger arm. Like, I think he can throw farther than Tua. There was a couple balls that he kind of sailed, after about 40, I think it was about 35, 40 yards. The ball started to, wobble a little bit, get a little drift. But Huey P was good. There was a little bit of wind. It was kind of windy practice day. So, the wind could have caught it, could have been anything. But you don't want to see that. There was a lot of talks of Jaden Daniels having that same thing after 40, after 40 yards, the ball kind of lost a little umph, kind of lost a little rotation, didn't have as much ball spin, makes it harder to catch for a receiver. So that all changed, obviously, for Jaden Daniels. He seems to be throwing the ball just fine right now. So, all those things don't really matter, but from what I seen, Dylan Gabriel, I would not be talking about if it wasn't for one thing and one thing only. Of course, Pete Carroll. You got to go back. You got to look at the numbers. You got to look at history. You got to look at the third round, you know, and the story of Seattle going and playing who was it? Matt Flynn? Was it Matt Flynn? Somebody let me know in the chat. I'm old. Brain don't work very well. But I believe it was Matt Flynn, Pete Carroll, and the Seattle Seahawks. I think he had one good game, and I think where the hell was it? Green Bay or something. Had one good game in the season, and they were like, "Damn, this is a damn good quarterback." They went and offered him all this money, brought him in, ended up drafting a guy by the name of Russell Wilson, who was a smaller guy. A lot of teams wouldn't take a shot at. Pete Carroll took a shot at, and they won a Super Bowl, made it to another one. Should have won that one. I don't know whose call it was, offensive coordinator, head coach. It doesn't matter. It's history. You can't change it. They didn't hand it off to Marshawn Lynch. They threw an interception. Patriots won. Tom Brady has an extra ring for another finger because he didn't have enough, for the 5 he had on the one. And yeah, so if it wasn't for Pete Carroll and that fact that he's going to find a way to make whatever quarterback he gets better, could he make Aiden O'Connell better? Yes, but he's not going to make him more mobile. And like I've said, in Pete Carroll's system, you have to be a mobile quarterback. You have to make plays with your legs. You have to be able to pick up first downs. And nobody wants to see Aiden doing that, right? Nobody wants to see him get hurt. Nobody wants to see him falling down on his knees constantly and limping back to the huddle. We know he's a beast. We know he's a warrior, but nobody wants to see that shit. So Dylan Gabriel could be a guy to watch and look out for. We all know Jackson Dart has been my number one. Riley Leonard is, another guy that I had to start talking about because everybody started talking about Jackson Dart. But Riley Leonard, if you get to sit for a year, is definitely going to be a damn good quarterback in this league. And if you look at the first day practice at the Senior Bowl, the best quarterback out of all the quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl was Riley Leonard. He had the best deep balls. He had the best zip on his ball. He was the best out of having that internal clock when guys were rushing. The second day wasn't great. Third day wasn't great. I think they asked him to do a couple things that he probably is not comfortable doing because let's face it, in Notre Dame they were a run first team. They didn't let him throw the ball over 20 yards once in a while. So Riley Leonard is going to be that dude that not only moves up the draft a lot like Jackson Dart has been doing, like Kyle McCord has been doing, but once they get in the interview process and they start listening to how smart Riley Leonard is, how much he knows football, with the fact that he can run a 4.5 and he's 6'3", almost 6'4", has a pretty decent arm, has pretty accurate. That kid's going to move up the draft board a lot, but look for Dylan Gabriel to definitely get looks just because Pete Carroll likes those, smaller athletic quarterbacks. And Dylan Gabriel, if you're happy with a Tua comp and a Tua type guy, which we all know his injury histories with the concussions, not saying that, of course, Dylan Gabriel is going to be anything like that, but anything's possible in the NFL. To me, just, the smaller, the smaller, the more chance you have of, getting just walloped in the NFL. Just ask Hunter Renfro. We all seen the last time he was good. He got a concussion, was never the same after that. So sometimes being fast, being small, you can get away with, but there's always going to be that one time where it could be the last. Dart's game translates to the NFL more accurate than Richardson. He's definitely way more accurate than Richardson. He's way more accurate than Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe had a rough first day of practice, a rough second day at practice, and not too good of a third day at practice, which I thought if Jalen Milroe had a chance to be one of those guys like everybody was saying, which I've been saying no, no, maybe third, fourth round. If he goes before that, it's because of his athleticism. And to me, that's just wild. Taking a guy on his athleticism, I mean, you can do it. But however, look at Anthony Richardson and where they've been for what, the 3 years since they drafted him. They're still waiting. So if you got 3 or 4 years to wait, take a chance on the guy like a Milroe. But if you don't have 3 or 4 years to wait, then no, bro, that's not your dude. Matt Flynn, my guy Lawrence, yes, appreciate you. So Huey P, did I shout? Yeah, got you. Jimenez, Dardo Gabriel. What? Cool. In the later, cool within the later rounds. Can definitely see Gabriel rolling out, throwing down the field. Yeah, I mean, he's good on the run, and the best thing about it is he's accurate on the run, right? It's not like, he's he's rolling out and missing guys by, 5 yards or throwing over guys' heads, where it's uncatchable. The man's accurate. He puts the ball where he needs to. He's not the best when it comes to leading guys. I think he kind of like a Milroe, in my opinion, he kind of hesitates and waits for his guys to get open. And I think that's going to hurt you in the NFL. He gets the ball out way quicker than a Milroe or a Shador Sanders, even, or a Cam Ward. Like, he definitely gets the ball out faster. He's very decisive with his decision making. He knows where he wants to put the ball, but I think sometimes he questions himself, and wants the guy to get too open. You wait for the guy to get open, wait till the guy get open, you end up taking a sack or running for your life and, making a stupid throw across the field and it's a turnover. Milroe does that shit a lot. Doesn't trust his arm, doesn't trust his accuracy, and waits too long for guys to get open. And you can't do that shit in college. You definitely can't do it in NFL. The guys are way faster. Your offensive linemen can't hold their blocks near as long. And these guys are coming right. You got 3 seconds and maybe 4 or 5 if you're not rolling out and you're done. So I think Gabriel has that for him. I think I just like to see him get the ball out a little bit more decisive, trust his arm, and lead receivers, throw guys open. You can't. Not everybody's going to be open in the NFL every single play, and not every guy is going to run the route exactly like they drew it up in practice. And your timing is not going to be exactly like it is in practice. Guys are going to bump you. Guys are going to chip you. Guys are going to slow down the receivers. Guys are going to be in your face pressuring you different than in practice. So that shit you have to account for and make up for. And I think when it comes to that is why a lot of these guys like a Milroe and, Gabriel and maybe even a Riley Leonard are going to probably be, third, fourth round. I think Milroe, somebody's going to take a chance out on the second just because of his physique. Like the dude is built like a brick shit house. And in this day and age in the NFL, quarterbacks, I mean, what? I don't know how many backups we had last year, but the year before it was like 64 different quarterbacks played started in a game. that's just nuts. Like fucking I don't even know how that's possible. Like, come on, that's double the quarterbacks. Everybody on average played 2 quarterbacks. That's crazy. So with as much as quarterbacks get injured in the NFL, you want to see guys built like a Milroe. But if you have a franchise quarterback already, if you're a team like Buffalo or like the Bengals, that you have a guy sitting there, that shit, you don't know what he's going to be in 3 years or 2 years. Milroe would definitely be that guy to take a chance at, because if he could sit like a Jordan Love did for 3 years, I think Milroe would be crazy in the NFL. If you didn't put pressure on him to go out there and have to start games or play games and win games, I think it would be wild. But there's, you know, nobody's getting 3 years to sit in the NFL anymore. You'd be lucky if you get one. Milrow definitely should have went back to school. I said it, I had somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that was kind of in the mix. And the talk was he was going back to school. That's what I heard. And I was like telling everybody, man, the kid's not coming out. He's staying one more year. And of course, that's what I get for listening to people. No, but that was the plan. And he changed his mind. He looked at the quarterbacks, he looked at the draft, and he looked at the draft next year and was like, shit, my best chance is to come out now. Like, if I got any chance of going in the first round or high in the second, it's this draft. Because next year, man, you don't know. Especially with as many guys stayed in school. You got Drew Owler. Who else stayed in? Quinn Ewers came out, right? Carson Beck. One of them stayed. I don't know which one, but yeah, there's a lot of guys that stayed one more year, and I thought Miro, should have stayed. Definitely should have stayed one more year. He only started 2 years at Alabama, right? He was, sitting behind Bryce Young. So he sat behind Bryce Young for 2 years and then played for 2 years, I do believe. That's not enough reps in college. There's a reason Bo Nix went in the first round when people were saying Bo Nix was going to be a second round or third round pick. And I go back and watch my tapes. I was like, there's no way Bo Nix falls to the second round. There's no way. He has too much experience. He's too athletic. He reads defenses good. He's seen everything you can throw at him in college because he was in, college for 6 years, took a crazy amount of snaps. There's a reason why those guys, um, you know, ended up starting as a rookie, taking over the rookie job when you got 3 or 4 veterans the Broncos brought in, and they all end up sitting behind Bo Nix that everybody said was going to be a second round pick. The man seen it all. He had experience, and sometimes experience wins over athleticism. Sometimes experience wins over arm strength, but experience never is going to win over intelligence and, being able to read defenses, to see defenses, which comes with experience. Um, the bridge quarterback, Jameis Winston, Winston Jameis. Well, Tom Brady said he wants to sit a quarterback though and learn, didn't he? Tom Brady has never come out and said if he drafts a quarterback in the first round, they will sit for a year. However, Tom Brady has mentioned many, many times on many podcasts, many interviews, that he thinks quarterbacks should sit for a year. All quarterbacks should sit for at least 1 year and learn the NFL, develop, learn the speed, learn practice, get to hold a clipboard, call plays, know the plays, all that shit, right? That's what he believes. That's, his beliefs. That's his MO. Will he make a quarterback sit in the first round? I don't know. But if that's the case, Pete Carroll is the total opposite. Pete Carroll believes, obviously, you can draft a guy in the third round and you can start him and do pretty damn well. He has shown. So, that's going to be a big, big question is how are those two going to mix? Or maybe, just maybe, hot take, maybe Tom Brady hired John Spytek, hired the guys he's bringing in right now, and hired Pete Carroll so he could do his Fox thing, step back. He's still going to have his say, but I believe he's putting the right guys in place to run shit. I don't think Tom Brady's going to be as involved as everybody thinks after this year. After the coaches are in place, I think you'll hear a lot less of Tom Brady. I think that's why Spytek was brought in the building. So Tom Brady can do his job at Fox because he's not leaving that shit. He's not going anywhere. They pay him way too much money. and he don't want to take a chance of losing that job by some stupid shit of him, you know, pissing Fox off or doing something he's not supposed to be doing with the team. Is why I think they brought in Spytek and why they brought in Pete Carroll. So with that being said, Pete Carroll could very well draft a quarterback in the first round and start him because he's the head coach and he has, if he feels like that guy is ready and believes he can help the team win and lead the team, Pete Carroll's not afraid to pull the trigger and be like, I'm starting this rookie. So, like I said, I believe uh, Pete's in win now mode. Yes. Yeah, exactly. He's in win now mode. So you're not, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think Tom Brady kind of stepped back and said, all right, let's bring in, Spytek as the GM. I can talk to him whenever I want and give him my thoughts and my opinions. I'm not saying he's a yes man because I don't think Spytek's that dude. But I think if Tom Brady wants something, more than likely he's going to get it, right? And I believe deeply, deeply, that is why Shador is out. That is why Shador is not in the running to be a Las Vegas Raider. I think he said it very, very well last night in Dallas Stadium, right? Standing on the star at the Cowboy Stadium. No, he wasn't at the star, but standing on the sidelines at the Cowboy Stadium. They asked him, your father played here. How's it feel being in the stadium your father played in? Which I don't know why they asked him that question like he's never been in the stadium because maybe he was I don't even know if he was born. Maybe he's never been in the stadium. I don't know. But they asked him what it was like to be in the stadium. And my man's answer was, you know, it's nice, it's great, but I have a feeling I'm going to be back here very soon playing in this stadium or playing against the Cowboys in this stadium very soon. So when my man says that, he also said his brother came out, you know, before they played in their bowl game, a week before their bowl game, and said, my brother will wear the shoes of the team he's going to play for and get drafted by in this year's NFL draft. And at the time, that team was the New York Giants. They had the number one spot. They currently do not have the number one spot, but they still have a very good chance of, drafting Shador if he's there. So if he's there, maybe the Giants move up. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But to me, it sounds like it's New York, right? He wore red and blue shoes in the bowl game. We all seen him, pull the silver and black shoes out of the bag, out of the box on video on IG that the Raiders sent him. But we never seen him wear those shoes. We never seen him wearing them in the game. We did, however, see him wear Giants colors cleats that were official Giants cleats sent to him by the New York Giants in the bowl game. And he also said he had a feeling he would be playing against the Dallas Cowboys in that stadium very, very soon. What team plays twice a year plays the Dallas Cowboys twice a year? The New York Giants. So just put two to two together. I mean, and I don't see the Raiders if, it could be another one of those scenarios. The Titans said they're not giving up, a once in a lifetime franchise guy, which we don't know who that guy is. It could be anybody. They could think Shador's that guy. They can think Ashton Genty's that guy. They could think Travis Hunter's that guy. They can think Abdul Carter's that guy, which, I mean, how could you not say Abdul Carter could not be that guy, dude? That's a generational talent. There are, it might be like a every 5 year, so it might not be a generational talent because it might be a every 5 year talent for him. Ashton Genty might be like a every 10, 15 year talent. Not too many guys come around that done what he's done in college, but not a lot of them get the rock as much as he has. So, it's Very, very, very questionable what is happening, what's going on. But Abdul Carter go crazy. Yeah, that dude is crazy as hell. There's a lot of guys in this draft at edge. You know, they said defensive tackle was the craziest. Um, there's another guy, the CJ West, defensive tackle. Uh, Another just freak, dude. These guys are crazy. Let me get to the rest of this list, and then I don't know how long y'all got or what y'all doing, but I was thinking of pulling up a mock draft if y'all want to do a mock draft here in a bit. Um, what else was I saying? Oh, linebacker. Another. I don't know why I like all these old Miss players, but another dude that stood out to me was Chris Paul Jr., the linebacker at Ole Miss. Uh, he really, really stood out in that Arkansas game. He was all over the field, and I believe he was the spy against Taylor Green in that game. And Taylor Green had one of his worst rushing performances in that game, I do believe, against Ole Miss. So Chris Paul Jr. is a very, very fast, explosive linebacker. He also played at Arkansas last year and the year before, I believe, and was the best defensive player we had on the field. But then he transferred and went to Ole Miss and then came and just destroyed us. Destroyed us. So watch out for Chris Paul Jr., one of those dudes that definitely probably going into, you know, depending on who needs linebackers, but top first round, probably first round talent easily. Maybe top 20. Corner. Somebody, this dude, I have not heard a lot of people talking about. Let me know in the chat after I say his name. If y'all heard him, if you know who he is, let me know. Um, Noel Williams. If y'all let me know, y'all heard that cat, where he's from. I'll tell you where he's from in a minute. But I do believe he led college football in interceptions with 7. He had 7 interceptions this season. He had 8 pass deflections. The man had 33 solo tackles and 82 tackles total. That's absolutely crazy for a corner. Noel Williams at a cow. The man has the hell they say like 30 32 and a half 32 and a half 32 and 3/4 inch arms or some shit, which is crazy good. Like, you know, the elite corners in the NFL have, you know, like a 33-inch arms wingspan. So like for that dude to have arms that long and his size, his quickness and speed is another just freaky scary dude. Um you know, check him out because gonna be one of those corners I think that stands out. I don't know, you know, we have to wait to see his numbers in the combine because for corners, definitely speed and, you know, high jump and shit like that definitely matter. Um, you know, for quarterbacks, you're just really passing the air with some fake pressures in your face. They don't really run 40 times, so mostly for a quarterback is, you know, mostly the meetings. Guys want to pick your brain, put you in situations, ask you crazy, crazy, crazy questions, and, you know, see how smart you are and intelligent you are. And I think that's where Riley Leonard's going to shine. Um, Trading up isn't even worth it in this draft. I would not trade up for anybody. Kobe Bryant of Kansas is nasty. Smoke to that. Um, Still pissed we didn't get Jalen Carter. Man, there's a couple of Jalen Carters in this draft though. I'm telling you, Walter Nolan is that dude. And I mean, he can definitely be a Jalen Carter easily, very easily. His go put on Nolan, Walter Nolan from Ole Miss Just search on Google tape from yesterday, I think. Second practice, or just watch all of them because they're all worth watching. If you whatever you can find on Walter Nolan from Ole Miss defensive tackle, that man's first step is one of the fastest first steps I have ever seen in my life. I am not kidding. When they moved the ball, he was already in the backfield every single time. Like the center just barely moved the ball. I mean, it didn't even twitch. I don't even know. I didn't even see the ball move. I guess he moved every time as soon as it flinched because they were going back and showing it. And I was watching on NFL Network, I think, on the practice, or maybe it was on ESPN. They're like, "Man, you got to watch this guy's get off, dude. That man is so fast, and with his size and strength and his dude and his technique, that kid is crazy good." So, yeah, I know we didn't get a Jalen Carter, but bro, if you can go get Mason Graham or Walter Nolan or man, D1 Walker, like dude, all these guys, I'm man, there's some crazy, crazy defensive tackles in this draft. And there's one guy that says, the fuck his name. I didn't write it down. I don't think. Or I didn't write down what I didn't put it all together, but one of the defensive tackles is 6'1", I do believe, 325 or 45 pounds, and he swears he's going to run a 4.840 in the combine. If that happens, watch this man's shit to go from the third round to the first round like that, bro. If this dude at that size, 340 pounds, runs a 4.840, man, that place is gonna explode, bro. The combine is gonna go nuts. Rebel, do you see us trading up, or who would you take at 6? I do not see us trading up. I I don't know. I with Spytek in the building, no. With Carroll's mo, look, Pete Carroll has only drafted 4 times. It might be 6. So don't nail me to the cross on it. I think it's 4 times. I believe no, it's 4 times. He took a guard. I don't know their names. The guard was Jackson. The sorry, the tackle. I can't even say his name. The safety, I believe, was Earl Thomas, and the linebacker or the defensive end was uh who the fuck was the defensive end for Seattle for so many years? Jesus, I just had the name don't matter anyways, but it's a dominant, probably gold jacket defensive end. Those are the only time in 14 years Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks picked in the first round. Again, in case you missed it, they took a guard, they took a tackle, they took a safety, and they took a defensive end in 14 years. The rest of the times, they traded 2 first round picks for Jimmy Graham, I do believe. They traded, or maybe it was 1 first round pick. And then they traded 2 first round picks for I'm gonna smack myself for Marshawn Lynch. How the hell do you forget Marshawn Lynch? Like, Jesus Christ, me! I can't believe I just forgot Marshawn Lynch's name. So I think they traded 2 first rounds for Marshawn Lynch, and then the rest of the times they traded back. So Pete Carroll's mo is to trade back, and when you're trying to win now, you need all the picks you can get. Right? You need all the top dogs you can get. So if you can pick at 6, or if you could pick at 25, 58, 74, and then end up with a pick or 2 next year, I mean, what would you do? So I see us trading back. Now, who would I pick at 6? Um, Hold on, let me read the rest of these and then I'll get to that. Kobe Bryant from Kansas would be crazy. He definitely has fits that bill for a Pete Carroll corner. Um, trading up isn't even worth it. I've seen that. Negative, never heard of him. Yeah, go check him out, man. The kid is bad. We got the cap for it, but gonna be a visit free agent. We don't have the cap. We don't. Maxx Crosby wants a new deal. Like I said, we're gonna spend at least minimum $70 million on 8 free agents that are key free agents that we need back. And if we don't spend that 70 million on those 8 key free agents, then we're gonna have to spend more money to replace them. So like we don't have the cap space, man. People are lying to y'all. People are they trying to make it look good. It doesn't. It doesn't. If we are in win now mode, it's gonna be crazy. We might be over the cap just like that next year, like way, way over, way over. What city am I in? I'm in Fayetteville. What city you in? Tactical Raider. Appreciate you pulling up. Never seen you in the building before. What do we got? Hell yeah, I fuck with this. Saying yo, folks surely. I like the new coach we picked. Yeah, Pete Carroll's a dog, man. He's got that experience. You know, was a defensive back coach coming into the league, so that's his mo. And with Ja'Cory Bennett, DeCamerion Richardson, who I think is going to be one of them ones. A lot of people were talking shit saying he doesn't get his hips turned around fast enough, but the man's 6'2", something like that, with a huge ass wingspan, and he's fast as shit. So sometimes those taller guys just don't get their hips around. It's those shorter guys that can get their hips around fast and turn on a dime. But I think he was one of those lockdown corners in college, and I think he can be that, especially under Pete Carroll. Man, the dude's gonna be nasty. Um, Matt Capro worked under Pete Carroll as the Seahawks under Al Davis in '08. Yes, sir, I did read that, and just another guy that's in the building that has just a lifetime of knowledge about football, about players, about the draft, about how to build the organization, what key players, what character players you need. Because I've preached this more than anybody, and I don't hear anybody talking about it still. And, I'm not trying to toot my own horn and shit, but I'm the only content creator that seems to constantly push this narrative as we are in Sin City, bro. It's Las Vegas. And maybe it's the fact that I live there, I grew up there, I went to school there. I partied my ass off there. I worked in the union there. So I'm from Vegas. Not from there. I wasn't born there, but I lived most of my life. The 49 years I've been alive, most of them have been in Las Vegas. So I know the shit out of Las Vegas like the back of my hand. And character is the biggest factor. Intelligence and character is the biggest factor in drafting players this year, last year, every year, now that we moved to Vegas, because it's not like California. It's not like anywhere else. Those cities sleep. There are clubs and shit you can go to in California that are open. They have small bars and shit like that. But in Vegas, you have casinos 24/7 on the strip, off the strip, anywhere. You can go drink, you can party, you can go to clubs, you can go to strip clubs, and there's a million of them. Take your pick. There's so much shit to get into and so much, fun to have as a young adult, as a grown man growing up in Las Vegas. Just ask Henry Ruggs. Just ask Demarcus Robinson. Just ask Charles Snowden. The list goes on and on. Nate Hobbs had the same situation. People said whatever, he was sleeping in his car, whatever. You were still fucked up somewhere and had your keys in your ignition, sleeping. But smart, you slept it off. But why you don't call a Uber with all the money you got, or a cab, or even call somebody in the organization, your teammate, and be like, bro, I'm fucked up. Can you come get me? I'm sure they would come get you. They probably wouldn't be happy, but they'd come get your ass. So in Vegas, it's not all about athleticism. It's not all about, the biggest guy, the strongest guy, the fastest guys. A lot of it is going to have to do with how guys carry themselves, how they conduct themselves, their character, their beliefs, their discipline, their integrity. That shit matters more in Las Vegas than anywhere. Maybe New York, because New York's a city that never sleeps also. But Vegas is just that place, man. It's that place where no matter what you want to do, what time you want to do it, you can do it in Vegas. Like you get a steak at 3 a.m. and shit with a beer. Most places bars are closed at 2, 3 o'clock, right? Not in Vegas. So that's a big thing. And I'm not gonna name players or coaches, but we've seen on the internet coaches, our coaches 3, 4 in the morning in casinos. We've seen players late night in casinos. We've seen people taking pictures with players in casinos at all hours. So that's a big factor. And I think we're putting the guys in the building that have seen, been there, they've done that, they've seen these guys, um, they've seen millions of kids coming out of college, they've talked to millions of guys. That's very, very important. I think that's going to help this organization so much. Um, I don't know who it was, not going to name names, but somebody made the comment that, Pete Carroll is uh, more grown, right? More intelligent. It's like there's an adult in the building, right? He's definitely more mature than Antonio Pierce. He's not running around screaming Raiders or, talking shit about how good he's going to do or how other coaches should be scared of them or how other teams should be scared of our physicality and ill intent and violence that never happened. Like Pete Carroll's not going to do that shit. Pete Carroll's going to be silent but deadly, right? Like a fart. He's going to sneak up on you, and they're going to pound the shit out of you, whoop your ass, and drag you up and down the football field. And half the guys are going to be smaller than you and outwork you. That's just what he's going to bring to the table. So they're bringing the same kind of guys with the same mentality in the building. And one thing that I'll never ever get out of my head is when Colin Cowter last year, when we signed Antonio Pierce, said this team of upper management was a circus. It was a clown show. The upper management was like a circus in a high school parking lot. Like that shit will never ever get out of my head because it pissed me off. But he was also right. He was 100% right. And as a Raider fan, some people don't want to hear that shit, but as a 49-year fan, I think I've been a fan long enough to speak my mind and to say, yes, he's 100% right. We have had nothing but a fucking shit show in upper management, whether it's vice president, assistant vice president. And I'm not talking about none of, Sandra or any of the people running the shit, but, executives and head, situations that have been there for a long time that nothing seems to change. The same stupid hires with the same coaches, the same dumb draft picks. There's just the same stupid shit constantly, and it finally seems like that's turning around. Right? You got people that are more respected in the NFL, that have more knowledge, not only of the NFL but of people, how to talk to people, how to treat people, and that shit makes a huge difference. Um, he might drop lower. We could have a chance. Who? Will Johnson, Mason Graham are my guess. Both from Michigan. I know Brady's from Michigan. I know Spytek's from Michigan. But you also heard Spytek say, as much as it pains him to say it, they were going to look at a lot of guys from Ohio, right? From Ohio State, because they were in the national championship. They won the national championship. They had the best defense in all of college football. And with a guy like Will Howard that never got any mention for being a first round pick, who was probably one of the best quarterbacks in college football all year long and still don't get no mention, they got a lot of players over there. Travion Henderson, one of my favorite backs in this draft. Quinshawn Judkins, another one of my favorite backs in this draft. I think both of those dudes. I'd go crazy if they drafted both of those guys, which I don't know how they could possibly pull it off, except for the fact they have 2 third-round picks. 2 third-round picks, right? Very, very close to each other. If you could pull off, man, Travion Henderson and the Judkins, I'd go crazy. I'd go nuts. What else? What I skip on? How many generational talents do you think there are in this draft this year? Generational talents? Uh, two, three. I'd say three. I mean, guaranteed three minimum. You have Travis Hunter. You know he goes both ways. Positive, necessary. I think that's generational. Like the last time you get, when was somebody type in the chat? When was the last time? Because I can't remember the year off the top of my head, but the last time we had a player in the NFL that played offense and defense and went both ways and could run, kickoff returns and punt returns. So to me, that's generational. That's special. Abdul Carter, I would say I don't know. I would say generational, but then when you see a guy like Mike Green at a Marshall, come in the combine, practice 2 days, and then say fuck it, I'm out because I'm better than everybody here. I don't know if I'd call Abdul Carter generational. So, and unless you'd have to throw a Mike Green in that mix and say Mike Green's generational talent at defensive end, edge rusher, then you might have to say four. So, but I don't think Mike Green coming in and he did have 17 sacks, I believe, 16 or 17 sacks this year in college, which is crazy good. But he did play at Marshall. Um, I just don't think Mike Green coming in and having the practices he did day one and day two were enough for him to pull out. Positive, necessary to pull out and not play in the Senior Bowl. I think that's crazy. And if it doesn't hurt his stock, I'd be absolutely shocked because to me that's just arrogant to and disrespectful, not just for the people that want to see you play in the game, that to see what you can do, but for all the coaches and for all the teams that were trying to interview him, maybe after the game or today that he just decided yesterday, after practice or whatever day we're in now, but Thursday that he wasn't showing back up. So I thought that was kind of shitty. But yeah, there's Ashton Genty, you have to say is a generational talent. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Travis Hunter is generational talent at either position, but the fact that he plays both has to put him up there. So definitely two, but Abdul Carter can definitely be kind of thrown in that mix. And I don't know, you might even could throw Scatterboo in there, right? There's not too many guys like Scatterboo that can play quarterback, that can catch, that can run, that can block. Could be another one of those generational dudes. I don't know. So I'm gonna say at least two, but that's a damn good question. So if you're asking to try to figure out what Tennessee's doing, like who they're picking, I don't know. I have no idea. Um, that's a lot of lizards growing up in Vegas. Yeah, a lot. Where are we at? That's crazy with all these users and drivers, right? Just crazy, like to ruin a career like that. Michigan beats Ohio State with Graham and Wills Johnson. I don't know. I think I mean, I guess main talent wise, you have to say Graham and Will Johnson. But man, I don't know. The Ohio State's got that. The hell's his name? That defensive end. That kid's a freak of nature too. He's nasty as hell. Um, their running backs are crazy. So I mean, yeah, Will Johnson is definitely a freak. But then go wait till the Senior Bowl and wait till the combine because some of these corners, like some of these guys I just named, and probably some other names I didn't name because I didn't get through the whole list. Some of these guys are going to surprise the shit out of some people, and there's already a lot that if you look at if you do mock drafts on Draft Buzz, sometimes I do that shit on there because they give more information about players, what round they'll go in, all that shit. So it's just sometimes more fun to me. But if you go on there, you'll notice that their shit's been changing the last couple of days like crazy. A lot of players are moving up, slipping down, falling out. Um, Appreciate everybody in the chat for showing love. Hit them likes, subscribe to the channel if you're new. AOC, RRU, and Pete. What is what? What? Yes, yes, and yes. Rick says you still have that put on film. What film? Carter was a game dude. Carter was a game wrecker. Yeah, all year he was a game wrecker in the playoffs, and yeah, I don't think Penn State would have got as far as they did if it wasn't for what a just a game wrecker that dude was. He was a constant problem in in the backfield constantly. So yeah, he's. I mean, really, and people keep you know saying I'm crazy, but to me, I see him a lot. Of Malcolm Kuntz. He has that crazy amount of bend. He has that fast first step. He has the deceptive whatever strength, like so quick hands, explosive hands, fast hands. He reminds me a lot of Malcolm Kuntz, dude. A lot of Malcolm Kuntz. Now, is he way farther ahead than Malcolm his rookie year or his senior year? Absolutely. So that's why I'm like, bro, just think about how good Malcolm Kuntz was, after his third or fourth year in the NFL. Just think of Abdullah Carter, how good that dude's going to be after his second, third, or fourth year in the NFL. Like, geez Louise. Um, Leaving the Senior Bowl early is dumb. Defenses are usually ahead. Any defense is during the All Star practices. It takes a minute for everyone to get in shape. Page in a few days. Not only is it dumb, but it's disrespectful to the Senior Bowl. It's disrespectful to the coaches. It's disrespectful for the owners and the teams that wanted to interview you, that were giving you a fucking job interview, bro. This is a job interview. This is a lifetime. You have a chance to make more money than 98% of the people on the planet. And you're that high on yourself and that big on yourself that you think you did enough coming out of Marshall to, to just dip. Like, and he's not the only one. There was a couple other players that did the same thing. So, I'm not saying it's just him, but for his agent, the way his agent, uh, you know, and I don't know if it was his agent or the exact same one, but for the dude's agents to not contact, the head of the Senior Bowl, to contact the media and put it out there like this dude's done. He showed, that he's the shit and he's not coming back. For the guy that, was it Matt Nagy or whatever, the guy that, the put all the shit on, the head of directors and ran all this shit, finds out over the internet that this guy, practice for 2 days and decides, all right, that's enough to show that I'm going to be a first round pick and fuck everybody on my team, fuck my coaches, fuck everybody that helped me got here. I'm not trying to get hurt for y'all. I'm not telling nobody. I'm just going to bounce. That's disrespectful as shit. So if I was an NFL team, I would not be happy no matter how good you are. But it sucks because when you have talent like that, you can be arrogant as fuck because somebody's going to take a chance on you because they want to win. And to me, that's shitty, bro. To me, that sucks ass. And yeah, you have a defensive scheme that you worked on to try to beat the other team on the other side of the ball that you line up against, right? And now you have to have you find a guy or probably three guys to take the place of a Mike Green to be disruptive, in the passing game or the running game. As much as he is, it's going to take two or three dudes to take it to do what he could have done in that game. So yeah, it's just shitty all around. And not only him, but like I said, there's a couple players that practice and have now backed out that are not going to play in the game. And I think that just looks bad, and mostly for their agents, telling them, hey, you did enough. Like, you're going to be in, a top first pick or a second pick, or your shit's not going to go any higher. Like, it's not worth it. I don't know. And, while we're on that subject, I think Cam Ward and Shador Sanders, the same thing. It's bullshit for Shador Sanders and Cam Ward to get everybody hyped up, to sell tickets, right? Let's be honest. How many people would have? I don't know if they sell tickets or if you got to buy tickets to the Senior Bowl. So I'll be talking out my ass. I never went, but I don't think it's free, right? I don't think you just show up to the Senior Bowl and if you want to just go. So I'm pretty sure there are tickets. You have to pay prices. And how many people would have really went if Shador Sanders wasn't going to play or Cam Ward wasn't going to play? A lot of those people went and bought tickets to see Shador Sanders. A lot of those people went and bought tickets to see Cam Ward. A lot of those owners and scouts and, head of PFR and, anything that has to do with scouting our player personnel were probably trying to go to these games and see these guys, perform not only in this game, but against elite talent all around them, right? I mean, it's the Senior Bowl. It's all the top of the top players, the best of the best. And we've seen Shador struggle against good defenses, not even great defenses, just good defenses. We've seen Cam Ward struggle against teams that, had a solid defensive line that could put pressure on them. And we've seen how they lost games and how they struggled in those games. So for those dudes to not even practice, to say they were going to be there, to show up just to do the interview parts and then, dip, like, unless they said, straight out the beginning, hey, we'll show up, but we're not going to participate, which that's not what they said in the media, right? They said those dudes were there. They were going to practice. They was going to be out there, and then they didn't. So I think that looks shitty all the way around to me, 100%. Vegas fans are still angry. We got stuck with a 90-year-old man ahead of coach over Ben Johnson. I'm not angry at all. I think Ben Johnson is gonna struggle. I think Ben Johnson took over a team that was way better on paper and on the roster than the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, they have their franchise quarterback, they have a running back, they have fucking Roma Dunze, they have crazy, crazy weapons. They have a pretty solid ass defense with a young up and coming defense. And I think he's going to struggle. I think he's going to do worse. I think Chicago will be worse than the Raiders. I think I don't think, I'm saying it now. The Chicago Bears will have a worse record than the Las Vegas Raiders this year. I just don't think Ben Johnson is, I just don't believe from what I heard him talk in his interview and his press conference when he took over, the shit he said to the team, to me, just didn't impress me. Didn't impress me at all. You know, you can come in and talk all that shit, but the man only ran the offense, was only offensive coordinator for 2 years, and the team was already built. Like, they didn't. What he draft one player, two or three players on that offense after he took over at offensive coordinator. I think y'all sold way too much on Ben Johnson. I think you overpaid for a Ben Johnson, and we'll see. But I think the Chicago Bears are going to struggle, in my opinion. But they might not. They might be, they might turn around and make the playoffs. But look at their division, bro. Look at that division. I don't see that dude coming in killing it. To me, he seems like a Dick Daniels, Josh McDaniels from the New England Patriots, a damn good coordinator that can't be a head coach. Not everybody's head coach material. And like I said, from what the interviews that I've seen, um, you know, him coming in the building, talking to everybody, none of that shit impressed me. It looked like a guy that is going to be in over his head, and maybe in 2 or 3 years, however long his contract is, they might be okay. But in the first year, nah, bro, ain't no way, ain't no way. Um, Uh, Hear that we love Carroll. We did not want the best coach in the NFL. What? He's how? Wait, how is he? How is Ben Johnson the best coach in the NFL? The best young coach in the NFL. What? Tell me what Ben Johnson has done, because I can pull it up on Wikipedia, bro. Tell me what he's done. I'll wait. I'll wait and I'll wait. We making the playoffs in the best division in the NFL. Well, I disagree with you. Yes, y'all had what, three teams? Did y'all have three teams make the NFL or the playoffs? Because we did, right? I know the Raiders didn't make it, but the AFC West had three teams make the playoffs. So I don't think that's the best division in football, but I don't see y'all just turning it around and beating who you got, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions. Shit, come on, bro. Come on. Y'all are not making the playoffs. What is Adam Case up to these days? I don't know. Yeah, his first hire was Dennis Allen, bro. That was my first red flag. Like fucking Dennis Allen, he's a decent defensive coach, bro. But come on, is he gonna help this Bears team? I don't know, man. He has struggles coaching. Obviously, he sucked as a head coach for the Raiders. He was horrible for a head coach as the Saints. Now, the only thing that's going to help him is he has head coaching experience, and I believe that's the only reason Ben Johnson hired him is because he has head coaching experience and he can help him for that shit. Bear indeed down, bear down, gay shit. Imagine if the Raiders drafted Will McDonald instead of Tyree. Yeah, we could imagine a lot of shit, but Allen equal Carroll. What you mean, Allen? Allen who? But your corpus of a coach impressed you? Yeah, bro. Did you see how much energy Pete Carroll has? Pete Carroll had more energy in the first conversation he had, the first interview that was 10 minutes, than Ben Johnson has in any of his conversations. Ben Johnson is what, 37 years old, 38 years old? Pete Carroll is 73, is way more energetic, has way more life. You can tell loves football way more, loves just talking about football. Nothing lights that dude up or gets him more excited. Kind of like my voice just got excited when it comes to talking about football. Dude, Pete Carroll has all the energy in the world. You could talk about his age. I guarantee you he forgot more about football than Ben Johnson will ever know. I must be new to football. Yeah, I just started watching it like 3 days ago. Then this is my first live. But how am I doing? Kingsbury struggled in Arizona. Dude, Kingsbury struggled in Arizona. John Gruden struggled when he came to the Raiders. Dude, Belichick struggled when he came to the Patriots. Like, come on, man. Everybody has struggled. These guys had way more coaching experience. There's a lot of coaches that had way more coaching experience. Ben Johnson has been, quarterback coach here, passing game coordinator there. He's only been an offensive coordinator for what, 2 or 3 years, right? And like I said, there's a reason why he took the Chicago Bears job. They already had the team built for him. He didn't have to be in charge of, drafting crazy ass players. If he gets a couple players in this draft, y'all are going to be like, oh my God, Ben Johnson is the greatest ever, like you already are. Pete Carroll is proven. Pete Carroll has been to a Super Bowl twice. Pete Carroll should have 2 rings. He only has one. But Ben Johnson, come on, bro. How many playoffs wins does Ben Johnson have? He's so great. With two of the best running backs in the NFL, with probably a top 15 quarterback, with the top 3 receiver in St. Brown. Fuck out of here, dude, with your Ben Johnson. Come on, bro. I'm new. I'm new. You come in here with that and I'm new? Yeah. Fuck that. We absolutely got a legend. Y'all got a nerd. Fucking right? Got a goofy ass nerd, bro. I'm surprised he didn't say Duval. Fucking stupid ass shit. He should have been smacked upside his face for saying Bears Nation is what he should have got. Somebody should have threw something at his fucking egg at his head. Yeah, your coach is so sorry, bro. He took a job and then tried to call y'all Bear Nation, knowing damn well there's only one nation in the planet, Raider Nation. Everybody knows that shit. Third place was Green Bay, right? That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't have a chance, bro. Y'all don't have a chance. Compare your third place record. Our third place record was what, 10-6? 10-7? Fuck, I don't know. Weren't the Broncos 10-7? 9-6. I don't know. The point is, the AFC West is always and will always be the best division in football, bro. There's no about it, doubt it. Any way you want to slice it. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Lions also had an elite offensive line. I know they had an already made team, bro. That's why he took the Bears. I told you he had teams he could have went to. He went to the Bears because they had a quarterback in place. They had an offensive line. Yes, they probably could use a guard and another tackle. Yeah, they could probably use a quick, fast running back, but they still had most pieces in line. They got crazy weapons on the offense, bro. That dude, I mean, come on. What do you mean? I don't know football. Best record in the NFL, and our third place team was 11 wins. I know, because y'all played shitty ass teams in the NFC. We played teams in the AFC West. Big difference. Big difference. Ben Johnson equals Adam Case. Add up the totals in each league. I don't have to add them up, bro. Look at the losers now saying Ben sucks. Begging for him free. I never begged for Ben Johnson, bro. You might not have ever been in my chat, but you got me fucked up. So please don't put words in my mouth. I was never on board with this dude ever. Like, I did make videos saying, the new look braiders was the only video I made about Ben Johnson. The new look braiders, saying Ben Johnson is the front runner for the Las Vegas Raiders. But if you watch that video, I was not on that D at all. Guarantee you. I always had questions about guys that my biggest knock on Ben Johnson was he came in, like I said, came in and took over offensive play calling duties for an already made team, bro. It's not like he went to the Carolina Panthers, and turned that franchise around and had it the top scoring offense in the NFL. He took a NFL offense with Jameer Gibbs, in my opinion, top 3 running back. And you could probably put him number 1 with Saquon. Just the fact that he's more versatile. Like, he can run, probably not as good, but pretty damn close. But he can catch way better, right? Way better than Saquon. So you could put Jameer up there in the top 3. I would. That's my top 3 backs easily. And then you could put the other back probably in the top 6, 8. in Montgomery. So come on, like I said, that team was already made, bro. They got weapons galore, and this dude's still gonna struggle because you have to be a leader of men, no matter how smart, brilliant your offense is. You have to be able to communicate, and you don't know how this dude can communicate with dudes. You don't know how he can lead a team. You don't know if he can handle the day to day of trying to put a team together, trying to figure out when you're leaving for plane trips, trying to organize practices, trying to do all this shit. It's a lot easier to be an offensive coordinator than a head coach. And we've seen in the NFL time after time after time that next big coach, more than shit, probably 90% of them turn out to be that next big bust and not even working in the NFL again. I mean, the list goes on and on. And one of the main reasons I was scared of Ben Johnson is Lane Kiffin is a perfect example, right? Al Davis was gun ho on Lane Kiffin. He was the next big thing at a USC, right? The best offensive coordinator. Let's bring him in at 31 years old and make him a head coach, the youngest head coach in the history of the NFL at the time. How'd that turn out? He went 2-14, fucking, or 5-20, not 2-14, 5-20 before he was fired. And then he goes, leaves, go to Tennessee, turns that team around, goes to Alabama. His offense is great there. He goes and gets a head coaching job at Ole Miss. Pretty damn good there. But it took him, he's now 49. So what's that, 18 years? It took him before, probably 15 years before he got another head coaching job he was successful at. So, bro, young coaches scare the shit out of me, especially when they, never been an assistant coach or any of that shit. You got to follow those guys around. There's a lot you got to know to be a head coach, and to just jump from one to the other is crazy. Um, Rick begged for Ben a few weeks ago. No, he wasn't begging for Ben, bro. Learn the game. Okay, I'm trying. You want to teach me? Agreed. Carroll's very good shape and energetic in football. Dude, Carroll is crazy, bro. That man can still throw the ball 40 fucking yards down the field. I don't think probably most of the people in the chat are watching, you know, are me. I mean, I could probably throw it 40 yards, but not too many times. I don't think I could just sit there and, play catch for 20 passes, 40 yards. It'd probably take a lot that I have at 49 to get the ball 40 yards, but that dude does it like it's nothing. I mean, not nothing. You see him straining, but still, he's rolling out, throwing across his body. Fucking who at 73 can roll out of the pocket and throw the ball across his body on a dime, on a dart? Can Ben Johnson do that? I want to see him do that shit. I'll let the trolls go. I'm not gonna kick the trolls out. I try not to boot people. Ben Johnson still needs to prove that he can be a head coach. Kingsbury was a great OC and he struggled to be a head coach. Ben Johnson hasn't proven anything yet. 100% facts. And really, in my opinion, like, even if he does become successful, I think Eberflus, was that the head coach before? Matt Eberflus did a pretty decent job at building that roster, putting the team together. Could he, he couldn't get it going, and somebody else, Ben Johnson, could be that guy to come in and just take this team, to the playoffs and the Super Bowl in the next year. John Gruden did it. I mean, John Gruden did it with Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay Bucks. They had that Tony Dungy team, was built up, had one of the solidest, nastiest defenses, ever seen in the NFL, was just crazy. But they had an offense that struggled, couldn't get over the hump. What'd they do? They traded for the Raiders. They went and got the young, innovative John Gruden. But John Gruden had head coaching experience. He comes over, bam, Bucks win a Super Bowl. So, but again, that dude had experience. He had been in the NFL. He'd been there. Ben Johnson don't know shit, bro. He's got a lot to prove. Yet you're a Raider podcaster live. Your point, you're nailed. What? Go paint your nails, bro. You'll never catch me in another team's live, lame ass fool. Oh, right. Hey, you know what they say? They ain't like us, and they always watching. AFC trash. Yep, that's why you're in here. Laughing my ass off. How's there a Bears fan talking shit? The reason y'all had many changes at quarterback, right? He's in here talking shit like they won the Super Bowl or something, like they're the Kansas City Chiefs because they got Ben Johnson, unproven, and they got Caleb Williams, who, you know, was drafted first overall and probably had what the fourth best year out of the quarterbacks. Fucking y'all crazy as hell, bro. But that's cool. Keep blowing up my chat. I need it. Damn, I've been on here 2 hours. Fuck, I might not do a mock draft tonight. Bill Canahan, the trailer kept the very same play. Yeah, right. Kept the very same playbook. Actually, they changed the playbook um like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl and then changed it back. Uh like they changed it 2 games before the end of the season. So they were starting to change it slowly, kind of like Bo Hardigree did. You know, they were adding a little bit to it, mixing it around, but then they went back to the original playbook. So the story is, a week or two before the Super Bowl. So yeah, brilliant. Another asterisk. That shit was rigged as hell. But all right, we got 20 in here. Let's pull up this shit. All right, mock draft. So here's where we're at. We got Cam Ward picked number 1 by the Tennessee Titans. We got Shador Sanders going to uh, going to the Browns at number 2. Then we have Travis Hunter going to New York. Why do I keep saying Colorado? To the New York Giants at 3. Abdul Carter. Damn, I thought they would take an offensive lineman, if anything. Going to the Patriots. Will Campbell. Out of LSU is going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Raiders are on the clock. These are all the players. Wait, I need to go up more. Shit. All right, so these are the players on the board. Top 25 is Mason Graham, McMillan, Genty, Malik Williams, Malik Starks, Will Johnson, Nick Scorton, James Pierce Jr., Siobhan Revelle. I like this kid at East Carolina. This could be probably tied for the second best with 3 other guys. Second best corner in this draft. Tyler Warren, we don't need that. Calvin Banks, Luther. Damn. So Amari Hampton is in there. Where they got Trey. Trey Harris is 40. So we're at 6. So to me, they already taken however many players. There's 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So basically, they took the first best player, the second best player, the third best player, and the 5th best player are off the board, and the 7th best player. So somebody reached and took the 7th best. So out of those, would you take a Mason Graham, McMillan, Genty, Edge Malik Williams, Stark, Johnson? I don't think I'd go past 11. I think anything past that. Or would you go with this trade offer? So Dallas is offering us pick number 12 and pick 44 for pick number 6. So if you're looking at a Mason Graham, he's going to be gone by then. If you're looking at a Terrell McMillan, it just depends on how the board falls. Obviously, if you trade to Dallas, they're taking Ashton Genty. Why would they try to move up to 6th if they're not taking Genty? So would you make this pick? Yes, no, maybe so. And then we have, I don't see how we could turn this down, really. They want pick number 6 and pick number 182, which is what, our 5th round? What is 182? Somebody let me know in the chat. 5th round. But they are willing to give up 22, which at 22, we could take a Jackson Dart. You could take a tackle. You could go crazy and take you could take Gray Zabel, who a lot of people are saying could possibly go early, very, very early 2nd round, maybe even late in the 1st round, which I believe Gray Zabel is going to go late in the 1st round. I don't see smart teams like Kansas City, the Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, all these teams picking, from 25 to 32. None of these dudes are passing on a Gray Zabel. If you've watched tape on this kid in the last couple of days, can play every position on the offensive line. This dude is a freak, and I would pick him at 22. So, but 22, 55, 86, a 2nd next year, and a 3rd next year. To me, that's crazy talk, and I don't see how you can pass it up. But let me get back to this and see what y'all got to say, because I don't know why I can't see both. Will Hampton and Jackson Dart would be great. And you picked in the draft, made the Bears. What the fuck? I don't know what that says. Los Angeles, Oakland, Vegas. What? You bumped your head, Chris Foster. You is talking mad crazy shit. Raider fans are the softest in the NFL. You know damn well that is the biggest lie you have ever told in your life, bro. The fuck out of here with that shit. Oh shit. So y'all ain't got nothing to say. Y'all ain't got no picks. Nobody's got nothing. Would you take those trades? Yes, no. Trading the division rivals though. See, that's what I was saying. Like, I would totally take that Chargers pick because they're offering so much. But who do they want at number 6 that's really going to help that team that, is already in the playoffs? Like, that's kind of hard. So, I mean, damn. Right, James Furpo, that's the funniest shit I ever heard. Crazy. Yeah, Alfredo got that shit right. Trading in the division scares the shit out of me. I don't know. So fuck it. I can't pick at 6. I don't know who I'm taking. Let's accept the Bears pick. So we're picking where somebody wants to trade 12 for 18 and 50. So we just picked up 58 and 12, and we can pick up trade 12 for 18 and pick up 50. That's 2 more picks. I don't think I want to go. Yeah, fuck it. Let's accept that too. Let's just do that. So we picked up another pick. And let's see what we missed out on. Damn, this is gonna keep offering us shit. Cleveland wants to give us 33, 67 for 18 and 244, a 2nd round next year. And the Rams want to give us 26, 90, and a 2nd next year for 18 and 44. 26 and 90. Damn, we could do this all day and just keep getting picks, but I'm just gonna have to reject this one. Damn, that's hard to reject though. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. We got to pick in the top 20, I think. Let me know what y'all think. So let's just go over this. Number one, Tennessee Titans took Cam Ward, Shador. Jets took Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Um, so the pick we traded, what the wow, that is wild. I never even so they didn't take Ashton Genty. We traded with Dallas, and they took to Terry Hunt McMillan, T Mac. What the hell? I didn't see that. So, anyways, I really did see this. Mikael Williams out of Georgia going to the Jets. That's a no brainer. Will Johnson, I could see that going to the Panthers. Mason Graham fell all the way to 9. Ashton Genty fell all the way to 10, went to the Chicago Bears. That's nasty as fuck. If Ben Johnson gets Ashton Genty, I will take back most of what I just said. Not all of it, but I will take back some because damn, if the Bears get Ashton Genty, the Bears fan in the chat probably jerking off right now, like, oh my God, we just got Ashton Genty. Bro, you didn't really get him. That's a mock draft. Calm down. Malik Starks, Georgia. Nick Sirianni went to the Seahawks. Tyler Booker, guard. Damn, went at 13. I didn't see that either. To the Dolphins. Tyler Warren, Pierce, Banks. So we didn't miss out on too much, really. We did not miss out on too much. Falling to 18. So best available. Are we on all? All right, best available. We have Mr. Luther Burden. We have Jalen Walker out of Georgia. That's my pick right there. I'm taking Jalen Walker. I don't know what y'all think, but really at 18, I mean, I think that's what I'm taking. Let me know if y'all got another pick. Cameron Williams out of Texas. Damn, that's another tackle that I think we could shore up that offensive line. Benjamin Morris at 18 would be a damn good pick also. I mean, that's a shutdown corner for Notre Dame. That kid tackles, dude, he hits hard as shit. He wraps up good. Matthew Golden is another just crazy name. He's projected at 22. Derek Harmon out of Oregon, I wouldn't mind. I don't know him. Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, another solid tackle. Damn, Amiki Ibuka. Walter Nolan at 18. What y'all think? Come on, let me know. Somebody give me something, dude. It's supposed to be y'all's mock draft. Y'all ain't even picking. Banks is gone. Yeah. No, oh yeah. Banks is gone at 16. Chris, bro, stop. You're annoying. Come on, man. Don't be a troll. Don't make me fucking block you. I don't want to be a dick. You dart nothing but your bare ass teddy bear, right? Walker, you can go Walker at 18. Bitch, this ain't your chat, fuck boy. How do I get you out of here? All right, bro. Quit being a douche, or I'll ban you. Block me, cunt. Man, you're a little bitch, bro. Bye, pussy. Fuck out of my chat. Damn, just block everybody? What the fuck? No. Did not work? Bye, bitch boy. Fucking trolls are ridiculous. So, Sacktown Mike in the building. Yeah, fucking Chicago trolls have nothing else to do but be in a Raiders chat because they ain't got no. I guess they don't have content creators over there in Chicago. Crazy shit. Yeah, he butthurt that they got Ben Johnson. Probably. Nah, I think Ben he'd be do all right, but it's gonna take him a while over there. The fucking trolls got to be dumb though. Try again. You have 500 accounts. You're still on the same one, bro. Jeez, you're annoying. Oh my god. All right, so let me get back to this. Where are we at? So those are the players we got. My man says take Walker. That was my pick too. Um, you know, we do have Amari Gainer, who was a UDFA, but I don't know how that man really slipped. I think he was because he was a hybrid. I think he played defensive end um, at North Carolina, but was a linebacker at Florida State, I believe. Maybe the other way around. I don't know. It's been a minute. But the man is a beast, dude. Amari Gainer is a freak of nature and quickly became one of my favorite rookies. Just the games I seen him in the practice, just the way he competes, the shit he says in his interview. The man's very intelligent. He's fast. He can cover, and I think we need another linebacker like that. I thought he was way underutilized, and Jalen Walker could. I think is probably more advanced than Amari Gainer, but I think they're pretty similar, very very similar. So, man, I think when you look at Pete Carroll, he drafts linebackers high. Probably not in the first round. I don't think they ever took a linebacker in the first round. Bruce Irvin, that's the name. I knew I'd fucking remember with my old brain. They had drafted Bruce Irvin in the first round, which was a defensive end, but was that dude that you could probably put an outside linebacker. And I'm sure they did plenty of times. I just can't remember. But that's that. So now let's look at each position. Running back at 18, no. Wide receiver, Luther Burden, Matthew Golden. Dude, I like Emeka Ibuka. I think that kid is crazy, crazy good. 27th best player in the draft, taking him at 18 could possibly be considered a reach when there's um when there's two guys in front of him. I really, 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 really fucking really like Alec Anomar or however you say his name. Um Ananamar, whatever, from Stanford. I think he's very, very underrated, and wherever they have him, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's the sixth best receiver right now. I think him and Trey Harris at an Ole Miss, and damn, another Ole Miss guy. Sounds like I'm becoming an Ole Miss fan. They got so many players that I really like that I think would fit on this Raiders team. And I guess maybe it's just the coaching or just I don't know the players, but man, I thought Trey Harris was just nasty all year long. Very, very hard to get a hand on at the line. Um, he's strong, he's physical, he's fast, he can run damn good routes. He plucks the ball out of the air, he doesn't let it get to his body. Everything he's catching with his hands in front of him, which would be even scarier if you put him in the slot in the NFL. But he's definitely easily a number 2 and could possibly be a number 1 on some teams. I really like Trey Harris. And I just don't know where this receiver class is going to go. But offensive tackle, I think it starts in the trenches, right? So if you go tackle, you got Cameron Williams. I would probably take at 18. Josh Simmons, I would probably take. Josh Conley Jr. out of Oregon. I know we've seen him get beat in the Senior Bowl. You all probably seen that tape, but he also got back up and handled his own after that. He didn't get beat constantly. So, Josh Conley out of Oregon, I think, is nasty, nasty. Wait, where's the other guy? Where's my sleeper? So they have Gray Zabel at 99. I guarantee you, and I'd almost be willing to put my nuts on it, that Gray Zabel is not gonna be nowhere near 99, bro. That dude is probably going maybe late, late first, the top 10 picks in the second round, dude. With his performance this weekend, playing all over the line, I would draft Gray Zabel right now at 18 and not even question it. And people would be like, "You're crazy. That was the 90th ranked fucking player in the draft. You took at 18." Yeah, but that's the best offensive lineman in this draft by far, dude. He's a tackle naturally, can play guard. And when they moved him from left guard to right guard, it was like he never missed a step. And that's hard to do because your stance is different, right? You have the opposite foot forward, the opposite foot behind you. And if you're left handed or right handed, the opposite foot is going to be a problem for a lot of people. But that dude is so athletic that it was not a problem for him at all. In fact, he looked kind of better, on the right side than his natural left side. And he's a natural left tackle. Dude, that man is just a freak of nature. And then you have this man right here, Wyatt Millum. Wyatt Millum out of West Virginia is the best guard in this draft by far. I know they have uh, Tyler Booker out of Alabama got drafted. I thought there was another tackle guard in this, but I don't know if Tyler Booker's the best guard, maybe the most athletic, but the most physical is Wyatt Millum, dude, by a mile. This man on every rep was just latching on to people. You know, they couldn't do shit against this dude. So very, very physical, very dominant, strong hands, good footwork. And I would probably take at 18 just because that's our biggest need right now. I think on the offensive line is guard. So um let's go defense. Defense, the best player on the board is Georgia Jalen Walker. I mean, damn. So and Benjamin Morris. But then I don't know how Walter Nolan is that far down there. And Mike Green is even down there, which is crazy. So I don't know. Let me get back to y'all. What do y'all think? Who should I pick? Who should I take? Um, Peace out, Wine Candy. Appreciate you. Shamar Stewart at 18. We got to get some O linemen. Justin Brown says, surprised you didn't snag that guy Riley Leonard. Come on, man. I'm not an idiot. Like, Riley Leonard's going to be a football player. He's going to be a starter in the NFL. I could almost guarantee that. Is it going to be this year? No, dude. I'm not dumb. I know. He needs to sit a year minimum. But if he's there in the third or fourth, I'm taking him. I'm not gonna lie. Riley Leonard is a dog, bro. I'm telling you. Go look at the tapes. Everybody said he was the best quarterback on day one, but also, he was the freshest. He just got done playing a week before that, so that counts for something. Campbell was taken. Oh no, Campbell's there. Yeah, Campbell's there. My boy says Shamar Stewart. I don't know about it. Damn. Josh Conley or Anthony Belton. I like Anthony Belton too. Walker or Nolan. Damn. Gray Zabel, Donovan Jackson. Shit. All right. Let's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Flip a tail. Flip a. Fuck, I don't have a coin. All right. So here's my two choices. I'm going to narrow it down. I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, and Riley Leonard ain't it. Sacktown Raider. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? As a huge, I mean, how could you say you're a huge Riley Leonard fan and say a kid that fucking put you on his shoulders in the national championship game, carried the ball over and over and over again, and when they got so far behind, your dumbass coach Freeman decided, okay, let's let this kid throw and see what he can do. What'd he do? He drove him down and scored 2 touchdowns and almost brought him back to win the game. The only reason Riley Leonard isn't looked at right now is because my opinion is because his religion and how he speaks faithfully um, about his religion and his faith. And people hate on that. The same reason they hate on Derek Carr. Other than that, the kid has, you can't say shit about him. He's 6'4. He runs a 4.5 40. He has a very solid arm. He throws the ball over the middle to his tight ends, which most of the quarterbacks in this draft do not do. He read defenses very well. He can throw guys open. The only thing that I see with Riley Leonard is his accuracy, and he doesn't trust his arm. He might hold the ball a little bit too late, like a Milrow, um, like Dylan Gabriel, that try to wait for the receivers to come open before they throw the ball instead of leading their receiver. But those are all things that could be fixed. Josh Allen came into the NFL, was drafted seventh out of Wyoming. Everybody said he had a strong, could throw the ball strong, but he had no accuracy, had no touch, had no vision, couldn't read defenses, couldn't control the line of scrimmage. Josh Allen is a superstar in the NFL. So, look, I've been doing this shit for a long time. I might be wrong at Riley Leonard. I respect your opinion, but from what I see in 49 years of watching the NFL, of constantly, watching guys over and over and over again, especially in college, being a Raider fan, knowing that we always need a quarterback as, a position I watched a lot. I played, up until I got hurt in high school and couldn't play no more. But I played, I've coached, I've been around football my whole life, and I'm a pretty good judge of character and talent. And I just see something in Riley Leonard that maybe a lot of people don't see, but there's a lot of people starting to talk about him more and more and more. And the fact that he played in the national championship game with only a week off and then comes and plays in this Senior Bowl, which, guys like Shador Sanders won't even fucking compete in, and Cam Ward, because they think they're too good. But this dude shows up when he was, took his team to a national championship, helped take his team. Yes, right. Notre Dame runs the ball. They're a run first team. They're a defensive first team. But I just disagree with the Riley Leonard thing. And like I said, if I'm wrong, come on my show, dude, and say you were wrong about Riley Leonard. And I'll be the first one to say I was wrong about Riley Leonard. But I just don't see you coming on this show and saying that, because I don't see him being a failure. This kid, if he gets the opportunity, and that's the big if, because it's the NFL, and sometimes you don't always get an opportunity. But with his athleticism, his speed, and his size, he definitely has a chance. People are going to take a chance on a Milrow. People took a chance on an Anthony Richardson because he could throw the ball 80 yards down the field and can run, a 4.4 40. But he wasn't 6'4". Riley Leonard's 6'4" and can run a 4.5 40, and it might even go up at the combine. So I just see this kid fucking showing out, and his intelligence is up there. It's, upper level compared to other guys. His football intelligence. At Duke, they let him throw. Go watch his tape at Duke before he came to Notre Dame. They let him throw the ball more. They didn't let him throw the ball at Notre Dame, and that hurt his draft stock. But that's not a knock on this kid. You'll see in this game when he gets to play in the Senior Bowl, just like he did in the championship. He can throw the ball down the field. He can, he's great at anticipation. He's good at throwing on the run. He's good at creating throwing lanes. Like, he has all the intangibles you need to be a quarterback in the NFL. Riley Leonard. No, because he's a running quarterback. His passing isn't great. He's not a running quarterback. He's just athletic. He's not a run first quarterback. He wants to throw the ball down the field. He would much rather have the ball in his hands every time, standing in the pocket. Ask him, guarantee you, if you had a chance to interview Riley Leonard, where do you want to be? In the pocket, dude. He wants to stand in the pocket and throw the ball every time. That's why he transferred to another school. And the fact that you went to a Notre Dame, not everybody gets into a Notre Dame, bro. That's an Ivy League school. It takes very, very high intelligence. Like you have to have like a 4.0 grade average to even think about getting in that school. So, that intelligent factor plays big in the NFL. And then the kid's heart. You can't not you can't teach heart, right? A guy that's willing to jump over 6'5" defensive lineman to pick up a first down on the sidelines and land on his head. You can't teach that shit. That's want to. He's a natural leader. If you ask anybody on any team he's played for, and I've had the opportunity to talk to some people that know some people, and I can't say names, but this kid, all he cares about is football. He's a leader. He's a natural leader. People gravitate to him. He commands respect in the huddle, and he gets the respect in the huddle. Not everybody can do that. So watch this kid stack to fucking watch him blow up in this draft. Watch, I'm telling you, he's gonna be one of those dudes, and he could be one of those dudes that is a backup in the NFL for his whole career. But if he could be one of those dudes that could be a backup 1 year, and if he gets a shot in the NFL, he might not be a backup ever again. So if he gets his chance, I think he'll be the shit. But I don't even like Notre Dame, bro. I'm a Razorbacks fan. This is what pisses me off is I don't like Notre Dame. I've never been a Notre Dame fan. The only people I've ever liked from Notre Dame is Michael Mayer because he's a Raider and Riley Leonard. Like I've never liked Notre Dame. Like that's not a team I cheer for. It's just something about that kid when I seen him play like uh, the game they lost, matter of fact, the first game or the second game of the season they lost, and then they went undefeated the rest of the year. You know why? Because that dude lost his mind when they lost. Like he was pissed. And after that press conferences, I watched their next game. The dude came in, lit it up, and they let him throw the ball. So I was like, man, this kid has it. But then, when you have two good running backs, what's their running back? Love. So, they have a damn good running back, a pretty solid offensive line. They didn't have too many weapons for him to throw to either, and their defense was dominant as fuck. So it's like the Raiders with Kansas City when we had Aiden O'Connell, right? Everybody said, oh, Aiden O'Connell's a shitty quarterback. He only threw the ball for 60 yards and didn't complete a pass in the second half. Well, they didn't make Aiden O'Connell throw the ball in the second half. We had a 20-7 lead, and we ran the shit out of football like you're supposed to. So, sometimes smart football by coaches makes kids look bad and they don't get their opportunities, which I hate. That shit sucks. But um, fuck, this draft is never going to end. I've been on here 3 hours. This is not going to be a 7-page mock draft. I am going. Shit, I don't know. I guess it starts in the trenches. Starts in the trenches. Starts in the trenches. If it starts in the trenches, you have to go. I can't take him there. Yep, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take Willem McGard. We have the Beast from the East next to JPJ. This is gonna be the most crazy offensive line in the NFL. Watch. And now they want to trade 45 and a second for 37 and 44. No. Kansas City wants to trade 64 and 66 for 37. I wouldn't trade with y'all. The fucking if my balls were on fire. Okay, let's go back up to all. Oh, goodness sakes. So the best player on the board right now at 37 is Walter Nolan. My guy at Ole Miss. Kenneth Grant is so underrated. Just another beast on that Michigan defensive line. Fuck Jahad Campbell. linebacker. That means somebody stole my linebacker that I wanted. I know I should have took that linebacker. Damn it. Jahad Campbell. Somebody wanted Shamar Stewart. He's the 5th best player available. Then you have Marion Hampton. Trey Harris and Jalen Milroe. And Jackson Dart is the 53rd best player on the board. And we don't pick again till 60 something. So, yeah, fuck you. I'm taking Jackson Dart, dude. I'm taking Jackson Dart at 2. Y'all might not like it. Y'all might think I'm crazy. And I probably am. But they want to trade us 1 pick and give us a 7th? No. They want to give us 58th and 89 for 44. Who's on the board? Dion Walker's on? No, can't do that. Reject. So we are on the board, and we have Walter Nolan sitting there with the 3rd pick. Do we take Walter Nolan, or do you take a running back? Do you think running backs are going to be off this board? Should we go D-tackle? God, I want to go D-tackle right now, but that is not really a big need. And I think what is a bigger need if he's here? I can't. Yep. Got to do it. Gray Zabel. Come on, man. This is the best mock draft you're ever going to see in your life. And if we could actually get these players, the Raiders would be in the playoffs this year. There ain't no fucking way they wouldn't be. No way they wouldn't be. Kansas City trying to trade us again for the 50th pick. Damn, we pick at 52? See, trading back is good. 64 and 96. No, it's the Chiefs. 55 and a 3rd next year. Damn, everybody in our division try to trade with us. All right, I'm trying to blow through this, so if y'all talking on the chat, I'll catch up in a minute. Oh shit, Walter Nolan is there, done. That's not even a fucking question. Dude, this is gonna be the greatest draft of all time. We just got Walter Nolan. We just got 2 of the best interior guard or linemen in this draft. One you can put at tackle, if Colton Miller doesn't work out. 66, they want to trade. No, let's reject that. And quit offering me trades, bro. I'm not trading with y'all sorry ass lightning bugs. Crazy bitches. Damn, Devon Walker's there too. I ain't even got to think about it. Quishon Judkins, bro. That is not even a question. As soon as I seen that name, the 3rd best player on the board, shit, you ain't got to ask me twice. 73, 231. This might go faster than I thought. 89, the 3rd. Let's reject that. And we are on the board for, let's go all. So, Darian Porter out of Iowa State. I like that kid. I also like Kevin Winston Jr. Jeez. Travion Henderson. Didn't I say if we could get Travion Henderson and Judkins, that we would be a crazy ass team? And I'm fucking pulling the trigger. I'm pulling the trigger. Oh, Chris Paul was there? Fuck, I should have looked. Damn. That might have been bad. I could have got Chris Paul. But then I would have had like 4 Ole Miss players in this draft. That wouldn't have been good shit. We gotta have an Ole Miss team. Damn, we don't pick for a minute. All right, 107. We are coming up on 107, and We will go all available. Rod Moore, Will Howard. At 106? Do we take a chance on another quarterback? Or we go best player available? We go best player available. It's Tony Horton? It's ugly. All right, I'm not going all. Let's go defense. Best defense is safety Moore, Billy Bowman. Damn, we should have went defense earlier. Fuck. Jay Higgins, Sebastian Castro. Damn. Kobe Bryant. Let's just go now. Fuck it. He was the sixth best available. Kind of a reach, but it might not be a reach, right? I believe we are picking again very, very soon. Get back to this chat real quick before y'all get too crazy. I took Nolan at. Hold on, I'll go over it here in a minute. Best available. I hope you prove me wrong with Notre Dame. I hope so too, especially if we draft him. I mean, if we don't draft him, then I don't really care. I'm a Raiders fan before I'm a player fan any day of the week. Like shit, that shit's tatted on me, bro. Like, so players come and go. The shield stays forever. Running back, nice running back. Yeah, we got two of the best running backs in the league. So we are up on the clock. We have what the hell happened? Oh, all right. Trade offer 144 and 224 for 155 and 83. I don't really see much value in that. We're losing 9 picks this late in the round. I don't think that's value. Yeah, I don't see no value in that at all. Best player available. So if we go best player available is going to be Lander Barton, Utah. Elijah Roberts, Dylan Gabriel. Oh no, he is there. This is not even a question. We're going back. So if y'all have not heard the story of John Beck, this is my I guess you would kind of say a sleeper, but I don't think he's going to be a sleeper anymore after the Senior Bowl and after these practices. But if y'all haven't heard the story of John Besh, John Besh is a freak of nature, wide receiver. You can put him at the slot, two, whatever, special teams, punt return, kick returns. His brother was in the NFL. I guess was a pretty damn good player. Was also on Wall Street. Had his life in all the right directions. And I guess in that Texas school shooting or something he was involved in, lost his life. This kid's been, I guess struggling to, I mean, come on, you lost your brother and shit to put it together, but just fighting every day, battling, and is one of the best receivers in this draft. The kid has insane hands, dude. He's a hands catcher. He doesn't let anything get to his body. He can high point the ball. His catch radius is just absolutely ridiculous. He's damn good at running routes, and he reminds me of a Lad McConkey that got over there with the Chargers, and also a Cooper Cup. Like he's kind of both of those guys mixed in one. And if y'all seen him, any tape on him, this fucking kid is scary good, bro. So, just a white boy that can catch. with hands, very knowledgeable of football. Definitely, hard to cover because he's so good at running routes, and he's twitchy, dude. He's just one of them dudes. So Chicago Bears have us. They want to give us 204, 235, and 242 for 182. Who do they want on the board? No, I'm gonna have to reject that because there's somebody on there they want. I don't know who, but let's find out. All available. Let's go all available. Ty Robinson out of Nebraska. I have never heard of that kid. Jacob Giddin. Tyja Brooks. Damn, he fell all the way to 182. That's crazy. Wait, 182. That's the sixth round. Tyja Brooks. What do we need? What do we need? Safety. We got receiver. We got D tackle. We got two guards. We got a corner. We got a running backs. Crenshaw Dixon. I don't know. Damn, Devin Neal's there. That fucking late. That's wild. Patrick Jenkins. I don't see any. Oh, damn. JJ Pegas is nasty fucking, but he's just another Old Miss guy. Like, I guess I watched a lot of Old Miss tape because all these guys flash at me. Damn, Trevor Iantine's there. I guess we'll have to go best available at this point because I really don't know anybody. But since we already went defensive tackle, I don't think Tyler Robinson or Hemingway is going to be the guy for us. Theo Weiss Jr. out of Missouri or Jalen Knoll. Our safety. I don't know. The best linebacker on the board is South Carolina. Let's take the best linebacker. I'm going best linebacker because we definitely need some help at linebacker. I think we got one in the fifth last year, and the other was a UDFA. The other two were UDFAs, I do believe. So, yeah, that's gonna be rough. We're gonna have to pack that up. Spillane, I think, will re-sign, but like I said in the beginning of the live 3 hours ago, fucking I don't know how these lives end up so long. All right, we are on the board at 214. Is that our last pick? So I can get the hell off here. I love y'all, but damn, I'm tired. Offense, the best person on the board is Elijah Badger out of Florida. Anybody know shit about Elijah Badger? Trevor Iantine is on the board. I almost want to take that kid just to take him, really. Defensive wise, it's defensive tackle, defensive tackle, defensive tackle. Here we go. Got it. I can't believe my cowboy was on the board. All right, so this draft is going to be pretty damn solid. We need one more player. Greg Woodson. Is that Charles Woodson's son? That can't be Charles Woodson's son. Shiloh Sanders. Should I take Shiloh Sanders? Okay, I'm just kidding though. Shiloh. Oh, I'm taking this other linebacker. Sorry. I'm taking Oglufagu because that man, if you haven't watched tape on Oglufagu, oh shit, I have one more pick. Well, fuck. But if you haven't watched tape on this UCLA linebacker, go watch film on this kid. He can play the hybrid. He can play defensive end. He can play the edge, but he can also play outside linebacker. He's that fast. He's got very good length, very good size. Was on a rough UCLA team that didn't have much support around him on defense, and he was one of the standouts, in my opinion. on that defensive team. We got corners, I think, right? That's what they got in safety. I think that's one position we didn't get. Donovan McMillan, Ricky Wright, Dan Jackson. I don't know any of these kids, so I'm not going that position. Edge, we don't really need. I don't think we should need shit for edge. You never heard at wide receiver, right? So who's the best wide? Oh wait, is my Arkansas boy on here? Where's wide receiver? Ooh, Daquan Felton's pretty good too. I might take Felton. Shit, I should have got my Arkansas boy earlier. Isaac Tesla. Isaac Tesla is a good ass wide receiver. Kind of like that Lad McConkey style, but if he put on some more weight, dude, he'd be a solid ass tight end. He's just not big enough. Nope, he's gone. All right, so I think we got every position we need. So I'm going best available. Last would be another defensive tackle or a linebacker. And you can never have too many tackles. So let's just draft the defensive tackle and see what the hell we got. Finish this shit up. I appreciate y'all rocking with me on a Friday. I know Neil is a stud. Rapping the building. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up to the shizzo. Damn, do we have another pick? I thought that was the last one. My football knowledge is running thin. I didn't know there were so many people in the draft. Thank God it's done. All right. So this is our shit right here. This is crazy. What a draft, bro. All right. So we got the second, if not the best guard in this draft, in my opinion, and Wyatt Millum. I think that's how you say it, Millum, out of West Virginia. This man has that JPJ intensity, and paired next to JPJ is gonna be a freak, dude. I don't know if you put him on the left side or right side. I believe he plays either. So you can put him in between DJ Glaze and JPJ, or you can put him in between JPJ and Colton Miller, or Munford if they decide to go that way. So our O line solidified. We got Jackson Dart with our first pick in the second round. So we have our quarterback of the future very easily. We got Gray Zabel. He's an offensive tackle at a North Dakota State. But as you've seen in practices, or maybe didn't see, I will tell you, the man played every position. Actually, he didn't play left tackle or left guard, which is his natural position. So he played center, right guard, and right tackle, I think, and killed it at all three of those. So Gray Zabel is probably, by the end of the combine, probably going to be like top 5, maybe top 10 linemen in this draft, in my opinion. So we have Jackson Dart. We have 2 offensive linemen to protect our quarterback of the future. On defense, we have Walter Nolan, who is crazy. Crazy is like Adam Butler 3.0, 10 years younger. Like very, very solid, Christian Wilkins type dude. Like I said, his get off is the fastest I've seen. That dude his timing is impeccable with the ball twitches. He is 2 steps in the backfield. So Walter Nolan, crazy, crazy good. Ohio State running back, Judkins. And since his boy was there 5 picks later, how could you not pair up 2 kids that were in college together, that know each other, that are, probably very, very good friends. Um, that are already thunder and lightning, right? Judkins is that pounded up the middle, smash mouth, run you over type running back that can catch out of the backfield. That's fucking pretty elusive, but not afraid to, to lower pad level and run your ass over. Um, Travion Henderson is kind of not the opposite. He's not afraid to run you over, but he's more elusive. He's gonna, try to juke, run past you, and he's fast as hell. And he's fast as hell. So there we go. Out of the first 6 picks, we have 2 linemen of the future, 2 running backs of the future, a defensive tackle, and a quarterback. Then we're gonna solidify the cornerback room with Kansas Kobe Bryant, not the Lakers Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. And then Zach Besh. Again, your homework assignment for tonight, if you're not tired and don't want to go to sleep, on YouTube, Jack Besh film or Jack Besh tape or Jack Besh highlights, whatever you type in. Watch this kid. Fucking grown man, not kid, absolute grown man. The linebacker, Demetrius Knight Jr. out of South Carolina. I'm not gonna lie, I know absolutely nothing about. He was the best player available. I had to pull the trigger. Nolan Williams, a kid I talked about, has, like I said, he has that 32 and 3/4 inch arms, which 33 is elite. So, the kid has very, very long arms, decent size, very good in coverage. Can play zone. It doesn't matter. Can play both. So another good corner out of the 3 or 4 we got that we drafted last year. Just solidifies that backfield even more. Olafemi Ogadejo, like I said, that the kid is just a raw talent. I believe this was like his first year playing football, if I'm not, or something crazy like that. Like, I don't know. So doesn't have very much experience at the, at playing football. I think he was like a basketball player that they just said, this dude is athletic as fuck. Do you want to try playing football? And he was good. So I believe that's the story. So, the sky is the limit for this dude. Upside is crazy. And then Riley Mills out of Notre Dame. Solid defensive tackle. Good get off, solid hands. So let me know what y'all think about this draft. Would y'all trade anything? Would y'all do anything different? Who out of this draft do you think we cannot plug and play instantly? Like, because the way I'm seeing it is, I don't see anybody really on here that would take a minute to. I mean, White Millum, you're going to put in at guard. He's better than Parham. He's probably he's better than Meredith. Probably doesn't, he don't have the experience that Jordan Meredith has. Has a little bit more fire, a little bit more in tenacity and grit to him. So I think that's an upgrade right there. I think he starts over either one of those guys. Jackson Dart, come on, with his athleticism, probably don't want to see him start the first year. If you could get away with him sitting behind, say they go get a Justin Fields or a Russell Wilson, or even stay with Aiden O'Connell as a bridge quarterback to let some of these guys, get to know the system, get to know the NFL, and give Jackson Dart time to catch up. Maybe by week 5 or 6, he takes over the team, and we never look back, and we have our quarterback for the future, right? So I think Jackson Dart, could probably play the first year if he had to, and probably will in a Pete Carroll system. because he's probably going to be better than the quarterbacks we have. Uh, Again, Gray Zabel, this dude is a starter in the NFL. Like this man wants to win every single rep, and he's going to be like that if he stays healthy throughout his career. Just a dominant force at no matter what position you put him at on the offensive line. So another plug and play guy, Walter Nolan. I really think next to Christian Wilkins, he starts day one. Like if you put Walter Nolan on this defensive line right now, I believe he beats out Adam Butler. I believe he beats out Jonah Lalu, which I dig the shit out of Jonah Lalu. I think he's a solid ass player for a UDFA, but he's not Walter Nolan. Let's be honest. Not many people are, and this dude, remembered his name. Walter Nolan is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFL. And then Judkins, he's better than he's way better than Amir Abdullah. He's 100 times better than Madison, who I don't think will be back. Um, he's better than than Dylan Labe, and he's better than definitely better than Zamir. So he starts right away. Trayvon Henderson, better than both of those guys. I think that's the 1-2 punch. One's probably going to be a third down back. The other one's probably going to get the bulk of the carries, which is probably going to be Judkins. Travion Henderson, third down back. I'll take that shit all day. Kobe Bryant, I don't think he's beats out, Jack and Jacoby and Jacorian Bennett right away. I think he competes with Decamarion Richardson. Um, but I don't see him beating him out. But he's definitely a good slot piece or a backup. Um, Jack Beck, I could see being our number two. If you wanted to take a Jacoby Myers and make him number one, with Brock, kind of the feature at tight end. Jack Beck could definitely be a number two receiver very easily. And then Demetrius Knight, linebacker, he's probably not going to be a plug and play guy. It'll probably be if he does make the team. Like I said, I don't know shit about the kid, but Noel Williams, I could see easily making the team and getting play time. Getting some grass time his first year. Older Ju, like I said, that's another guy that's young, raw talent. It might be a year or two before he gets on the field. But when he does get his playtime, I think that dude probably be one of those nasty dudes. And Riley Mills. Riley Mills got, plenty of pay time. He was a big reason Notre Dame made it into the championship with that defense. Just one of those guys that could stuff the run. So, yeah, I think it was a hell of a draft. And, I mean, shit, I think we can start pretty much all of those dudes. All the QBs. What? Oh, no, you're good, Shane. What are you doing waking up, bro? You're supposed to be night-night. So, I love it. Just know Jackson Dart won't be there in the second, though. His stock is rising like crazy. Oh, I know. And shit, if you follow this channel, if you don't follow this channel, subscribe, tickle that notification bell to turn it on, and hit them likes for me on the way out. But much love. I appreciate all y'all pulling up. As always, Raiders. And yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart stock is rising. I talked about him all season long, saying, there's not two quarterbacks in this draft. There's a bunch. There was a bunch. Curtis Roke. I didn't talk about him today. Out of Indiana, that kid came out in the draft and not making a lot of noise, but I believe he will in the combine and in the interviews. Probably a kid that might be a backup in the beginning, but a lot of these quarterbacks just weren't known, right? They weren't in the right system. They weren't used in the right way. Kyle McCord, we've seen the year that kid had and wasn't talked about. It's just the NFL scenario, right? They tried to make it like there's only two quarterbacks in this draft, Cam Ward and Shador Sanders. And I've said all year, I've showed stats, I've showed film. There's a lot more quarterbacks in this draft than people are given credit for. So Watch out for Jackson Dart to not be the only stock rising by the time it's said and done. I look for Riley Leonard to move up. Curtis Rourke, they have him projected third or fourth round. A lot of these guys are probably going to move up to the second, late first. And I think when it's all said and done, some people are saying there's still only two quarterbacks in this first round. And I'm saying there's three guaranteed, but there might be four or five, just like last year. Now, there's not going to be five that go in the first 10 picks. That's crazy, crazy talk. But there's definitely going to be probably four that go. Somebody's going to take a chance on a Milrow, on a Jackson Dart, and a Riley Leonard probably by the time it's all said and done. So, again, appreciate y'all. Hit that like button on the way out. If you didn't, I appreciate all y'all support. And I will be on tomorrow, probably after the Senior Bowl, to talk that shit about how good Riley Leonard is. I'm just kidding. Man, I hope my boy don't let me down because I talk a lot of shit and I stick up for this fucking Riley Leonard kid that I never met in my life. And I just, something about that kid just tells me he's got that fucking football, knack. And I had that same feeling about Aiden. And Aiden's pretty damn good. He's just not nowhere near as mobile as this fool. So make sure if you can watch the Senior Bowl tomorrow. That shit's gonna be fire. There are some crazy, crazy good players. There's gonna be some insane matchups on the offensive line, defensive line, running backs, receivers, and again, I will be back tomorrow with some more names. So stay blessed. Much love. Peace.